everybody. Greetings and salutations to all. Welcome to the seventh season. Oh, hang on. The seventh season finale of Timeless Gamer, where the games and gamers grow older while the gaming experiences will forever remain timeless. And we are now live in Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch. Oh, and for all of our archive videos of previous episodes, you can still check us by going to our YouTube channel, Timeless Gamer. Oh, sorry, Timeless Gamers Show. Yeah, you heard that right. It's Timeless Gamers Show now. All right, not to be confused. And you can also still listen to us in Audible, Amazon Music, Spotify, all of the major podcast audio streaming platforms out there. Um, oh, uh, previously on Timeless Gamers. It's really
Should,
hard.
should, should we start playing the Dragon Ball background music in here when you said previously?
Previously, again.
Chala, chala.
Ten, 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 ten,
Yeah.
ten, 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 ten.
Ding, 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 ding.
Previously on TGS.
TGS. Oh my God, TGS. So we got down and dirty with this game called Chrono Trigger. So if you're one of those people who worships the game, or you're one of those people who have problems with the game, go check that episode out. I believe we couldn't really go full comprehensive review and discussion of that particular game, but I think we covered a good 3 hours worth of content over there. So give it a check. Why don't check? So for this particular episode, the seventh season finale of the TGS, all right, the Timeless Gamers Show, we're talking about the remakes and the remasters of the video game industry. And hindi lang po Hollywood ang gumagawa nito, no? Hollywood is not really exclusive doing rehashing all of their classics. The video game industry does it as well. And to no avail, sometimes they are they could be they could be a detriment at some point when things are not being done properly according to the fans, and even sometimes they're just happy that it's just remade or remastered. So for this episode, we got Sir Joel to lead the show. But before we do that, let's do with our introductions. Sir, one, two, three, go. J, Sir JDM.
Hello guys, good evening and welcome back to Timeless Gamer, and I hope you enjoy the episode tonight about remasters and remakes.
All right. Thank you for that, Sir JDM. And representing Studio PH. Sir Ray.
Mabuhay. Mabuhay. Welcome guys. Hope to sana mag-enjoy na lang kayo sa episode today, our season finale. And let's go, let's go.
All right. Malapit na po sa Betigo Belmonte.
Let's go.
Returning back to the show, our nawala pa rin camera hanggang ngayon. Still camera-less. Bro Shin, Mamuchu.
Hello and welcome sa lahat na nanonood ngayon ng TGS or the Timeless Gamer Show. And as usual, wala pa rin akong camera, but just like with every remasters and remixes out there, it takes a lot of time before you can get a full quality, diba?
There you go. So to all of you audio listeners, you're not missing anything in terms of Mamuchu. So just listen to his very sultry, sexy voice.
Yeah,
And the one that did the show.
for you audiophiles out there, you guys are not missing anything. But however, for lahat naman ng mga nandito ngayon na sabihin natin hindi nakikita pag mumukha ko, sinuswerte kayo ngayon. So, let's go.
We can just use an old stock photo of you.
Let's go!
Let me find one. I'll find one.
Oh, the captain for the show today, Sir Joel.
Hello, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whoever you are, wherever you are. Welcome to the Timeless Gamers Show, and we're very, very happy that you're here. extremely happy that we have the audience both in the video and in the chats and on the audio. For those of you who are downloading the podcast, welcome anyway. Even if you can't interact with us in real time, we're very, very happy that you're here and that you're listening to us and our experiences and our opinions. Back to you, Joe.
All right. Thank you for that, Sir Joel. Before we start the show, let's just say hello to the chat. How you all doing down there? Sir
Mm-mm.
JDM, who is among those people over there?
Ayun, nasa chat section natin ngayon si Tito Popoy, Jeff Sadalia. Sabi
Mm.
niya, naiwan si, naku, naiwan si Christine sa
Mga,
podcast.
mga budol kayo, mga walang iya kayo.
Na-trap card. Tapos, nandito rin kanina lang nandito rin sa podcast si Sir
Mm.
Joe Menten, Sir Joe
Mm-mm.
Marot, na sabi
Yes.
naipit ka na, naipit ka na sa Mamucho. Ayan. And
And of
si
course,
Hi,
Organ
Lay!
Play, also known
Bye!
as
of course,
Romel
sige.
Bensilio of For Gundam Plays.
Yes, our resident
Sabi niya, good
expert
evening, TGS.
our resident expert in Gundam and Gunpla items. He's the guy I
Yes.
always talk to. Okay, and of course we have.
Also, we acknowledge the presence of Miss Leira Sineres of
Mm-mm.
Lay
Li-
Roxy.
Yes,
The
there you
triple
go.
Y, hindi po
Mm-mm.
triple X, guys.
Okay,
Triple
I,
X
I,
naman
I,
ako mga
I,
pogi.
I really made the mistake that first time. Triple X. Again, sorry, Lera. Okay, but yeah. Anyway,
All
okay,
right.
sige, Joe,
So
go ahead.
let's just get the show on the road. With talaga, quick answer, Dreams Masters. Um, sa totoo lang, there are a few games din na talagang you enjoyed the first time, but as our gaming technology evolves throughout the years, you're thinking, okay, m- maybe this could have, maybe some graphical enhancements could have been possible if the developers are willing to. And all throughout for the last 10 years, merong mga lumalabas. There are a few games that were released that were remade and remastered for the gaming audiences. Some good, some bad, but
Mhm.
it depends on how nostalgic they were holding on to that very original.
Mhm.
Unfortunately, with the developers, I'm not really sure if they're taking into consideration the wishes of the gamers who played the originals. Maybe some out of convenience or uh, out of compromises, they had to do
Mhm.
things differently, and the the outcome product is just like this, mixed reviews. But
Yes.
forget about that. Let's just get on with it. Sir Joel will lead throughout the show. Sir Joel, let's go.
All right, let's do this to this. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Timeless Gamer Show. Thank you very, very much for being here. I'd like to express to everybody that this episode is going to be a mixture of both Filipino and Tagalog. So I'll do my very, very best to, whenever somebody speaks in Tagalog, I will translate into English for our international audience because here in Timeless Gamer Show, we do our very best to accommodate not just our not just our audience, but also our panelists as well. We want to make
Are
sure
we
that
are
everybody's
we are we just
comfortable.
gonna translate?
Yeah,
Christinong Joel. Are we just gonna translate? Or
yeah.
are we gonna localize? Or are we going
Oh
to
yeah, I'm absolutely sure there's going to be
simplify
subtitles
whatever
too.
we're just saying? Okay,
Oh, there's
good.
also that. There's going to be subtitles too. Like just
May
like anime.
subtitle.
Yeah, tama. JDM rin sabi nga ni JDM, There's gonna be subtitles much like anime. Too bad we don't have any waifus here. Well, anyway. So Dave Scott on the chats as well. Good PM sirs. Hello, Dave. It's great to see
Hey,
you.
Dave.
All right, all right. Now, for the topic at hand, pag-uusapan natin ngayon ang remakes and remasters. Pero first things first, let's clarify what the difference is between a remake and a remaster. A remake is actually a completely new product, something that is based on the original. Pwedeng bagay na nalaro mo na dati, pero it's something that you played before, but is going to be almost a brand new product once you get the new product into your hands. It'll be something with a new engine, new graphics, new mechanics. Almost everything is going to be brand new on it, and it's almost unrecognizable from the original, except in name. An example would for that would probably be something along the lines of the, well, we'll talk about it later. The Final Fantasy VII remake. And
Oh, that is a good
whereas
topic.
yes, that's going to be a different. That's going to be one of the big differences. Now, a remaster naman is going to be basically the same game. It's going to be almost the exact same game, pero upscaled naman siya. Mas high definition. The graphics are going to be high definition, or can be considered a port into a new platform. So a remaster can be something like that is a game that is moved into the next generation of consoles. An example would be the Yakuza Remastered Collection, Yakuza 3, 4, and 5. They're exactly the same games as was on PS3, pero pinort sila recently onto high def in PC and on PS4. So, with those definitions in mind, I would like to start the discussion by asking if there is any particular favorite remake or remaster. Oh, we have no limitations here. Pwede tayong console, pwede tayong PC, pwede tayong mobile. If you have a mobile game that you really liked and it got remastered or remade into a different platform, it's fair game. So, I like to start the discussion by asking Raymond, Mr. Raymond Retro Freak, kung ano yung favorite niya na remake or remaster for actually current time. It can be ano. Let's talk about the original game first. What was the original game and compare it to the remaster na nasubukan mo na? Raymond.
Um, as of all you know na medyo horror fanatic ako. So, I'm a
Mhm,
horror game fanatic.
mhm,
And almost, tawag doon, ang Resident Evil kasi is lately nagre-remastered sila, ay nagre-remake sila ng game. So,
mhm,
in my part as a gamer and a horror fan, I've been playing some remakes of Resident Evil. Example of that, I played Resident Evil Remake 2,
mhm,
Remake 3, and the Remake 4 of the
mhm,
series. So,
mhm.
for on that day, on those games, ang least na pinakamaganda, ang worst na remake na nalaro ko as of this date is the Resident Evil 3. This
Resident
is
Evil 3. Okay.
this is the worst remake of all
Really?
time
Oh
based
my
on the
gosh.
ayan.
First things first, Raymond.
Sadly,
Why did you like
ayan.
the original, and what made this remake not so good in your opinion?
First of all, the original one, the Biohazard
Mhm.
3 from
PS1.
PS1
Yes.
was
Mhm.
a complete package of Jill Valentine. Meaning,
Mhm.
yung storyline talaga niya is perfectly done.
Mhm.
Ang problema by the remake, ang dami nilang cutscenes na ginawa. So, for example, sa Biohazard 3 o sa Resident Evil 3, ang meron silang clock tower scene with Nemesis.
Okay.
Talagang mas complex, mas mahaba yung yung puzzle na gagawin mo sa clock tower.
Okay.
Compare mo dito sa hayop na larong 'to. Sadly, yes. Wala lang, dinaanan lang niya yung clock tower dito sa game na 'to, and then there's
Mm.
no puzzle on it. Hindi kagaya na sa OG1, you have so many puzzles to do bago ka makapunta sa clock tower, para paano ay bago mapasabog ni Nemesis yung helicopter na
Mm.
dapat magse-save kay Jill and kay Carlos. Ayun,
Mhm.
ang best na nalalaro ko as of this date,
Mhm.
na remake or remaster, remake na lang muna, remake ng
Mhm.
Resident Evil is right now is Resident Evil 4.
Mhm. Oh, okay. Mhm.
And actually, this is the new one eh.
Okay.
So, yan. This is the new one, yung yung remake nila. Ngayon nga, nilabas yung DLC ng Separate Ways. Yun nga lang yung pinaka bad trip ko kasi paid DLC siya. Hayop ka Capcom. Yung naman tong DLC ni Ada. Anyhow,
Mhm.
yung remake niya, based doon sa original na RE4 is mas inayos nila yung story naman nito. Hindi
Mm.
kagaya sa RE4, medyo may ano, may putol-putol na story na hindi mo maiintindihan. Pero dito sa 4, mas complete yung storyline na kung paano pumunta si paano nakuha si ano, paano nakuha si Ashley.
Mhm.
So, and then yung mga side quests niya, mas lalong pinahirap and yung puzzles pinahirap.
Mhm.
Sa original na remake ay sa original 4 naman, mahirap na rin yung puzzle pero sa remake 4 ng Resident Evil, mas pinahirap.
Um,
So ayun, kaya nasasabi ko na mas maganda yung remake 4 ngayon. So
mhm.
that's it. So yun muna.
Mhm.
Oh,
It's ironic naman na yung Resident Evil 3 is a really bad remake or remaster. Tapos bigla na lang ang ganda ng Resident Evil 4, eh, no? Whoever's making those decisions nga ron sa Capcom, medyo you don't know if it's the same committee or not. You know, Raymond.
It
Eh, no?
was I
yeah,
do have a theory
exactly.
about that eh.
In
Oh, go ahead, Ma'am.
at the same time kasi right
Mm.
now ang Capcom is parang 'pag sa remake thing, parang
Mm.
that time siguro hindi ko rin sila masisi kasi
Mhm.
nilabas yung Resident Evil 3 is pandemic time
Oh, I see.
or
Okay.
Mm.
so nagmamadali sila sa ano, sa production.
Mm.
So hindi
Mhm.
ko alam kung talagang nag-skip sila or
Mhm.
whatsoever for
May theory
so
ako
ang
diyan eh.
nangyari,
Mhm.
yan, nag-skip sila ng ano, ng senaryo.
I see. Okay, Mamuchu, Mamuchu, you
Yeah.
had ano,
Yeah.
you had
Yeah.
a
So
theory about it.
yeah, I have a theory about it eh. Kasi if you think about it, they probably already have planned na they will go full circle. Now
Mhm.
we're gonna finally get to Resident Evil 4, which is like basically what started all of the
Mhm.
ibang gameplay na ng Resident Evil eh.
Mhm.
And if you think about it, it's like kung ano man yung effort that would have actually that everything na makikita natin sa Resident Evil 4
Mhm.
remake, you would notice na as like they did a really good job on that one. And it makes you wonder if those efforts na dilagay nila na pagmamahal nila sa Resident Evil 4 was actually meant for Resident Evil 3. Pero it
Mhm.
seems like as if nung sinabi nilang, okay, Resident Evil 2 was going well,
Mm.
let's gonna go for 3. But
Mhm.
everybody's waiting for 4. Okay, you know what? Let's shorten Resident Evil 3 and then let's
Mhm.
aim to make Resident Evil 4 better. So they only have a limited amount of staff and probably creativity in regards to that.
Kasi
Actually, ano, that mm.
actually Tito Joel, mas
Mm.
naunang ilabas ang
Mm.
remake 3 kaysa sa remake 2.
Mm. Oh,
So
nauna
yun
yung
yun.
3 kaysa sa 2 na remake. I
Oo,
see,
mas
okay.
nauna ang 3
Yeah.
kaysa sa 2. So yung mga pagkakamali nila sa 3, nilagay nila sa 2 at nilagay
Mm.
nila sa
Yeah.
4.
There you go.
Ah, I see, I
Oh,
Yun.
I
see.
see. I
Well,
see. I see. I
actually,
see. I see.
that may support yung yung theory mo, Mamuchu, because Kurt Labrado actually says RE3 remake is not bad in terms of gameplay, but it's just too short. That might have been actually an issue na nga. Baka tama sabi mo, Raymond, baka ginawa nila yung Resident Evil 3, and then kung ano man yung mga natutunan nila tsaka ang pagkakamali nila sa 3, they fixed it sa 2 and then going into 4 na
Yeah.
rin siguro eh, no.
Mm.
That's actually a fair theory actually. I wouldn't be surprised, Mamuchu. And
Mm.
Arsen Mendoza says, good evening, Matito. Burr months na. Malapit na ang Aguinaldo Day. Ready na kayo? Oo, actually, kumakatok na sa mga pintuan ko
Ako
yung mga
kumakatok kay
kandidato.
Tito Joel kung
Yan,
Tito
yan,
Joel
isa
kung
yan.
napanood mo yung ano,
Oo.
G3
Mga
last night.
ninong, mga ninong handa na maging solid snake, ihanda na mga
Ayan.
boxes ninyo.
Magmano kayo. Okay, sige.
Oo.
Bilang
And yan,
naka-stealth camo na
I'll
kami.
just ano
Alright.
lang, I'll just yun,
Mm.
sasagutin ko lang yung kay Kurt.
Yes. Mm.
Sabi niya not bad in terms of gameplay. In a
Mm.
way kasi may sinusundan ng RE engine ng Resident
Mm.
Evil eh. So hindi mo
Mm.
pwedeng
Yes.
sabihin na in terms of gameplay bad talaga. Eh kasi yun na yung pinag-aanohan nila eh. RE
Mm.
engine na talaga eh. So
Mm.
ang magiging baseline mo diyan is yung storyline saka how you dwell with the storyline saka yung graphics.
Yeah,
Kasi yun na
that's
yun eh,
true.
nandiyan may RE engine ka ng ginagamit eh.
Sa
'Di ba?
bagay. Susundan lang nila yung original, yung RE3,
Kaya
di ba? Sa bagay, that's true. First things first,
sinayan
though,
nila si Jill.
Mm. Talaga yan yung beef ni Raymond eh, no?
Oo,
I'd like
sinayan nila
I'd like to acknowledge a very quick message from Miss Leira Señeres of Leiroxy Facebook gaming page and Leiroxy on Twitch. She also says Pac-Man. Pac-Man actually has a good remake or a remaster. It's called Pac-Man Championship Edition. If you guys played that one, ang ganda nun, actually. It's a good update on sa original na Pac-Man gameplay. It makes it much faster. It makes it much brighter. It makes it much more fun, actually. Marami siyang mga bagong mechanics. Anyway, to continue. Ayan, Raymond, those are your two initial games na either nagustuhan mo or na hindi mo nagustuhan, which is Resident Evil 3 and Resident Evil 4. Ano, you make fair points, especially, actually, a lot ng mga tao in-anticipate nga talaga Resident Evil 4, And it's
I'm
a pretty
looking
big
for
hit.
Tito,
Mm,
right now.
mm.
I'm looking forward for the Silent Hill 2 remake.
Oh, that's a good one. Yeah.
Yeah,
Mm-mm.
that's coming where this coming February.
Mm-hmm.
So, yan, as a horror fan, yan. So,
Mm-hmm.
titignan natin kung ano yung pinagbago ng Silent Hill
Oh, yeah.
sa previous
Mm-mm.
one. Kasi ang
That's true.
ang ni-remake ng Konami is
Mm-mm.
imbis na 1, yun 2. So,
Oh,
bakit yung 2?
okay.
'Di
Because,
ba?
May
ano,
ano ako, may idea ka kung bakit.
sige,
Eh,
JDM. I'd like to hear your idea about it.
because they already made a reimagine of the first Silent Hill
Silent
game, which
Hill?
is yung Silent Hill Shattered Memories.
Shattered Memories
Yeah.
yung ba yung nasa
Hindi siya
PSP?
remake. It's called reimagined
A
game.
reimagining. Oh, that's true.
Re-imagine siya, not
Ano,
Mm,
remastered or remake,
yeah.
that's
'di
true.
ba?
Yeah,
It,
Hindi
that's
mo
true.
siya
That's true.
pwedeng hindi mo siya pwedeng i inline sa remake thing.
Mm,
So,
mm,
reimagine siya. So,
yeah.
yeah.
hindi talaga siya pwedeng ihalin tulad or
Mm,
ipwesto sa remaking. Kasi ang
mm,
remaking, sabi nga natin,
mm. It's almost the
based
same
on
game. Mm,
'di ba, almost the same
mm.
game, not
Yes.
reimagining the game.
Mm. Yeah,
And
that's
isa
true,
rin
actually.
sigurong reason why they skipped it because that game did not do
Mm.
well sa market. Kasi
Yeah, I was
nag-iba
about to
yung ano
say.
niya eh. It's
Mm.
talagang survival horror siya. No action na walang like game yung battle mechanics na
Mm.
inintroduce. All you have to do is run. Tapos
Mm.
meron lang parang defense na yung ano yun yung tawag nun parang flare lang
Mm.
panakot lang ng mga monsters and
Mm.
I
that's
Yeah,
think
it.
that's
ano
true.
eh,
It's more
yung
of a psychological game na siya. Kasi
Mm.
parang
yung
meron siyang may psychological test in between scenarios.
Mm.
Yeah,
Okay.
yung sinasabi ni Chris JTM, actually, it also bears weight din kasi if you think about it, even in America, when release na nila yung Resident Evil 2, that was basically around the PSX boom.
Oh, yeah, that's
So,
true. It's my guy.
and then like usually a lot of magazines and whatnot, when you mention Resident Evil, yeah, they do remember yung iconic look na yung patalikod na zombies and whatnot. But
Mm.
the one that
Yeah.
really, really came into everybody's mind was during the time na lumabas yung Resident Evil 2. You have like these new characters, and then at the same time you have two discs, and then at the
Mm.
same time you have like two different paths. So it's so memorable that you also have to take into consideration na nung time na there's already a fan of Resident Evil or Biohazard during that time. When Resident Evil 2 came out, there was like a
Mm.
lot of hype. So
Mm.
if you're gonna go for the remake and whatnot, if you think about it, maski doon sa sa unang trailer teaser sa
Mm.
I think it was in I can't remember if it was video game show or whatever, pero the one of the doon sa trailer, titingnan mo yung storage room, there's
Okay.
actually a PlayStation in there.
Okay. Oh,
Yeah.
Basta
what
kunwari.
which Silent Hill did Pyramid Head show up in?
2.
Two.
Oh,
And
sa
that's
two,
another
right?
reason siguro kung bakit naging super popular siya. You have to admit na it's kind of iconic talaga. Marami mga iconic characters and moments sa Silent Hill 2. The main character, what's his name? I forgot. The blonde guy.
Si
He
James Sutherland.
Yeah, really had a pretty deep story when it came to the entire
Yeah.
series. So I guess a lot of people identified with two more. I guess. Actually, Baruna Royka, Gamitagle on Twitch. Let's acknowledge Gamitagle on Twitch. Baruna Royka, please check out
Hello.
his page. Make sure
Yeah.
to hit follow on his page. Who says yung Dino Crisis ba is may liwanag na. Oh, that would be a
Oh,
great game
man.
to really come out with it.
I wish,
Talaga.
I wish.
Mm,
Oh,
Sabi ko nga eh,
Yeah.
there's a lot of remakes, there's a
mm,
lot of the wish list ng mga
mm,
horror games, yung mga
mm,
survival horror games ng
mm,
Capcom na it should be remake na talaga.
I
One is
agree.
Dino Crisis.
Dino
One is
Crisis.
just read my
one
caption, guys.
Crisis.
And
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. Dino Crisis remake, please, Capcom. That's
At the
JDM's
same time,
hashtag.
Tito
You know?
Joel,
Mm,
it's pati yung right now kasi ang chismis sa sa Resident Evil community
mm.
is Resident Evil 10. It's called Apocalypse.
Oh,
And we're
okay.
hoping sana
Mm,
sana if God permits
mm.
sana ituloy na i-remake na lang nila yung Veronica.
Okay. Veronica is
mm,
was it PS2? Oh, no, PS1 yun, di ba?
Dreamcast.
Resident Evil Vacant.
Ah, it
Dreamcast?
was
Dreamcast originally, then PS2.
Ah, there you go. That's it.
PS2,
Mm.
GameCube, and
Mm.
Dreamcast.
I see. Yeah, definitely. That's one of
Yeah.
the ones
As long as like if they're gonna remake Veronica, they
Mm.
better make sure that like that falling scene for that yung ano pangalan nun yung discount Leon Kennedy si Justin Bieber side
Okay.
pag namatay siya I wanna see
Mm.
how sure I am na talagang patay na siya kasi I hate that discount he's a discount Leon Kennedy.
Well, that's the thing. That's the thing about dying characters in fiction. You can see that they're definitively dead, but there's always a chance that they can come back. You know how it is. You know?
Screw Steve
Di ba
Burnside.
si
It's all
Ida
about
nga
ano.
lang?
Oh,
Di
that is
ba?
true.
Di ba
Yeah.
si
No,
Ida
no, no,
nga
no,
lang
no.
sa Resident Evil 2, yung
Mm.
binaril,
Mm.
namulog.
Oh.
Ayun, buhay pala.
Mm. Yes,
Screw
Mama Chu, you
Steve
had a point.
Burnside ko is
Mm.
screw Steve Burnside. Kasi the thing is like even with the remake, no matter how much you try to remake it, like if you look back sa Veronica talaga, it's like
Mm.
what significance ba ang reason ni Steve Burnside there just to actually be a placeholder for Leon?
Mm.
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 In a game
And
na
he fails.
in a game that really boasts about zombies, do
Mm.
you really think someone dying
Mm.
means they really are dead?
And
Well, yeah.
animated to life again.
That's true. They might be one of those really, high tech modified zombies that
Yeah.
actually become sentient.
Mama Chu wants to make
Mm.
sure that
Hmm.
guy stays dead, really dead, like confirmatory, like clinically
Yeah.
dead, like
Mm.
flatline ECG dead.
Yes.
Ain't
Hindi mo
no,
Unless
na
ain't no,
if he comes back, to
ain't
life,
no,
I want Leon to shot him in the head.
ain't
Mm.
no Dragon
Sabi
Ball
dito ni
reviving that guy.
sabi dito ni Kurt pala, Sir Joel,
Oh,
after
yes.
seeing the ending of Separate Ways, sorry, medyo medyo spoiler ka sa akin, pero
Ala.
yung hayop na Separate Ways. Hayop ka, Capcom!
Yes!
So, yun
Well,
yung
Call Veronica
sinabi
is not
ko.
canon. Yes.
Well, yun na nga, that's the thing though, Raymond. You can't really call statute of limitations kasi na when it comes to spoilers dahil ang tagal na eh. How many years na naman kasi naman yung Resident Evil na yan.
Pero
So eventually,
the way
yeah,
that
go ahead.
Kurt
Spoiled it.
on the comment section, kasi kalalabas lang yung Separate Ways na DLC right now.
Oh,
So
ah,
sabi niya, nakita
mm.
niya yung ending ng Separate Ways and may hinting
Mm.
ng Code Veronica. So hayop ka pa rin, Capcom.
Oh, yeah. I'd also like to acknowledge in the chats. We'd also like to acknowledge Leandro Amaro Ibanez Jr. who says, "Good evening, Kuya." Very good. Thank you very
Hello.
much for Thank you very much for saying hi. And Saiga Tenchi Gaming, of course. Saiga Tenchi Gaming, one of our really really good streamers. The only remake. Really good question. Really good comment here. The only remake ang kailangan is Xenogears. Nothing more, nothing less. A very valid point.
Mm,
A very valid
2D.
point.
As long as it's 2D. It's
Mm-mm.
3D rendered, but it's 3D but 2D rendered. Yes.
like
Yeah.
yung Star Ocean di ba?
Yes,
Second
exactly.
story style.
Yeah.
Ay
A
naku,
Star Ocean remake
pakiramdam
style.
ko si Sir Joe, marami
Mm.
talagang sasabihin niya na versus remake.
No.
Kung
We'll
nag-uumpisa
we'll
pa lang
we'll
tayo, sa'kin
Nagpo-form
horror
na
games
yun.
pa lang 'to, Horror games
uh
pa lang, remake pa lang 'to, what more sa JRPGs.
yes,
Pero
absolutely.
nakatahimik lang yang
Kaya nga
loko-loko
eh.
mo, pero
Ayan, nag-iisip na yan, yo.
nag-iisip na yan, ano ba yung una kong
Sinisave niya yung mga
sasabihin?
magaganda eh. Pero you know,
Oo.
right now, those are
Yes.
Raymond's initial volley as to remakes and remasters that he enjoyed and that he did not enjoy. Very, very good games, Raymond. Let's serve his volley over to Mamochu na muna a little bit first before we go to JDM. You know, Mamochu, since you're the return of the comeback king here right now, I'd like to hear your two games that you have, up to two games that you have that you played that you really either enjoyed or you hated when it came to remake or remasters.
This is going to be a bit difficult kasi nabanggit
Mm,
na ni ano eh.
mm,
Basically, I'm in the middle of everybody here right now, and I'm
okay.
sorry if I'm going to
Mm.
be stepping on everybody's parade
Bawal
here.
middle.
Hindi, ano eh, tawag dito. Guys, napilit lang ako dito. I haven't even prepared for what I'm supposed to do. So,
Na-trap
Yeah,
card.
so as a
trap card.
justification, okay. So,
Mm,
tawag dito. Well,
mm.
Kuya Ninong Mon already mentioned kung
That's
yung
fine. That's fine.
isa.
That's fine. We can
But
do
the
repeats
other
too.
one, and the other one that I have is
Mm-mm.
basically Metal Gear Solid because
Okay.
I love the fact that like when they did a remaster
Mm-mm.
nung mga games na yun, I can finally play it sa PS4. When
Mm.
they did the remaster collection, I didn't need to actually whip up any of my old consoles. I can just go
Mm-mm.
play straight, go for a marathon.
Mm.
My only qualm is that like they were trying to improve it to actually format it to be for ano, like for instance, like let's say yung Peace Walker, because Peace Walker
Mm.
originally came out for the PSP,
Yes.
and the thing is that like they're trying to adapt whatever the controls were or whatever
Mm.
the ways were dun sa ano na yon, sa game na yon
Mm.
into the main consoles. Now, I have no qualms if it's not gonna if they're not gonna try to boost the graphics or if they're gonna try to go for the frame rate or whatever. I'm not
Mm.
after that. What I was really after is that like if they could even try to at least improve the controls when it comes to Metal
Mm.
Gear Solid, because
Mhm.
the thing is that I wouldn't say that I'm not asking them to make it as good as Phantom Pain or whatever, because
Mm.
even back then Phantom Pain and I know Ground Zero doesn't even exist yet. Pero
Mm.
the problem was is that like there is always this feel of clunkiness when you finally start to play it on the console version. I don't know if it was because of the transferring of the files into a bigger console, or is it because maybe there is certain things na kailangan nilang i-remove or but it's just like it's so hard to actually play it that when I was playing Peace Walker on the console instead of
Mm.
PSP, it's like it's more of me just recollecting whatever I remember playing, and then at the same time, you just have to play it, don't you? You just have to
Mm.
play it, don't you?
Yes. Well,
So
additional one moment lang, Mamuchu. Additional
yes.
rule for the discussion: you can do repeats. You can do repeats of games that have been previously mentioned. Pero see if you can put an angle as to what makes it better for you that hasn't been mentioned before. Like if
Yeah.
somebody's mentioned
Yeah.
graphics, maybe the sound, maybe the controls, which is what Mamuchu is
Yeah.
talking about right now. And things like it's something that really makes that elevates it above what it was originally. Anyway, continue, Mamuchu. Go
Yeah.
ahead.
So,
Mm-mm.
for me, as far as like wishful thinking na lang, like I wish
Mm-mm.
what they could have actually added if they're
Mm-mm.
just gonna do a collection anyways, is
Mm-mm.
that kung hindi sa controls nila ako pagbibigyan, maybe they could have actually given us the Japanese audio
Mm-mm.
version of Metal Gear Solid, because hindi naman kasi lahat ng mga fans are just fully yeah, I worship David Hayter, don't get me wrong, but as a fan of Metal Gear Solid and a little bit of being a weeaboo myself, I did love the way that Akio Otsuka also portrayed Solid Snake and all of the
Oh.
snakes. So I would have loved to actually go and play it and listen to that as well. And
Mm-mm.
maybe since nalaro ko na siya sa tawag dito, sa PSP with the
Mm-mm.
American version, I would love to actually get the Japanese version, because believe it or not, guys, the Japanese version is so much different. Kasi
Mm.
they have to censor the torture scene ni Snake sa
Oh,
Peace Walker. Yeah,
okay.
they
Mm.
instead of electrocuting him,
Mhm.
they change it into a tickling device.
Okay. No, that's enough. That's something I didn't know about. Okay,
Yeah.
well there you
So,
go.
as far as remaster, I guess
Mhm.
everybody already played it on the side of the screen. Yes,
Mhm.
I remake. I would love to see Metal Gear Solid, um,
Mhm.
Delta.
Mhm.
I wanna hold my thoughts for now. Whatever I said in the past episodes of Timeless Gamers, I
Mhm.
still stand to that. However,
Mhm.
I'm just waiting whatever Tokyo Game Show is happening as we speak. So I'm
Yes.
still waiting if there's something that's gonna come out. If not, then I'll just gonna keep on waiting. So,
Mhm.
that's what I have so far.
All right, very good, Mamuchu. I have to admit, the nice thing about remakes and remasters is the fact that if you didn't get the chance to play them originally, now if they've been remade or remastered, you will get the chance to play them. Particularly, one thing that stands out in my mind is, well, I know Joe played this before, Baten Kaitos, the Baten Kaitos games.
Mm.
A lot of
Yeah.
people might not have had the chance. I know Joe
2 years in the
he's
making.
yeah, he's already shaking his head right now because of the fact that
Pero right now
it's
kasi Tito Joel, right now
yes.
Tito Joel,
Mm,
ang napapansin ko lang ngayon sa mga nagpo-produce ng games is
yes.
puro sila ano,
Mm,
nag-aano sila sa console like right now
mm,
PS5 and right now
that's
yung
true.
nga yung PS5 ilalabas
Mm,
Yeah.
yung collection ng Metal Gear.
yes.
So wala
Mm.
pa rin pagbabago eh, remastered pa rin pero naka 30 FPS
In a
based
way,
on the game.
actually, dinadaya nila eh, di ba? They're kind of
Yeah,
cheating
dinadaya
the
pa
new
rin nila ang
generation,
gamer. Yeah,
Yeah,
dinadaya
and
nila
that's
yung
It's
gamers,
basic
eh.
it's
and
basically what they're trying to do kasi mga ninong is that like
mm,
what they're trying to do is that they're
mm,
shoving as much oh, don't get me wrong, I'm a Sony fanboy myself, pero
mm,
even I noticed that like, they're just shoving as much content as possible for PS5, trying to
that's
prepare
true.
for something big. Kasi right
Mm,
now, the fact that like, okay, now everybody's going for the console
mm,
thing, PS5, Xbox Series, and whatnot. They
yes.
know that like all these companies is like, ano ang pang-alas natin na pwede natin gamitin para dito sa integrity
Mhm,
na tong console na to. Well,
that's true.
let's just try to put this project here. Oh, meron tayong mga ano nito, old versions na tong game na to. Let's shove in
Hmm.
all the remasters in there as much as
Yeah.
possible just to keep up the time, by the time, kumbaga.
Mm. It's both a
And
positive and a negative when you ask me, because of the fact na nga na you get the chance to play all these great games, pero in a way
Yeah.
they're also cheating the new generation of console owners because of the fact that there's nothing new. They might have already played these games before, and even if it's a remake or a remaster, they might be treading familiar ground. JDM, I'd like to hear your opinion on it.
Yeah.
for remasters kasi I think they've been doing that since ano na, since yung PS4 kaya ang tawag ko sa I I too I am a ano Sony fanboy
Okay.
actually. But
Mm-mm.
starting sa ano PS4, all I see is remakes talaga. I even
Yeah.
Yeah.
considered it PS ano remaster race eh. 'Di ba parang gano'n, 'di
Yeah.
ba may PC Master Race, PS
Badumts.
oo.
Yes, that's true. No, I'd
But
like to hear no. And go ahead, go ahead. JDM, finish your point.
ang ano kasi para sa akin for me, remake is hindi lang para sa mga old fans ng mga
Mm-mm.
games. It's
Yeah.
also to introduce yung mga games na mga kinalakihan natin to new
Mm.
audiences, 'di ba pa?
That's true.
Kasi
Very
yung
true.
remasters is mga ano ngayon, yung generation ngayon, 'di ba, more on graphics, on
Mm.
yung mga ano bagong innovations, yung mga bagong na i-introduce na mga innovations in gaming,
Mm. Yes.
parang magkaroon ng appeal sa ano, sa mga newer generations. They try to remaster all those games
Mm.
that were released previously.
Very true.
And
Very
I
true.
think that's the good thing sa
Mm.
remasters. But yung ibang ano lang talaga parang it's a complete parang overhaul na hindi mo
Mm.
malaman kasi yung the original fans medyo nitpicky.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah,
nawawala
sabagay.
yung ano, yung
Oh,
very essence of the old games that you have uh, known to love. Parang
may
Mm.
nawawala
isang
like
may isang
Resident
game na
Evil 3,
ganyan.
'di ba?
Yeah.
Well, yeah. One example would probably be Gothic. JDM will identify with this one. The one game that
Hmm.
I'm kind of looking forward to is Gothic on PC because of the fact that I
Ah,
played the original game Gothic on PC. The controls were absolutely terrible. but the game itself was amazing. So before
Mhm.
I pass it off to Joe, I'd like to hear his opinion on it as well. I'd like to acknowledge Saiga Tenchi Gaming again on the chats, one of our more active chatters, and very very happy for
Hello,
that one.
Saiga.
Shout out to Atlas. Pwede paki-remaster naman
Yeah.
yung Thousand Arms. Isusugab
Yes,
ko
Ay,
yung
ako rin,
kaluluwa ko
gusto
pati
ko siyang
remaster mo yun.
yes,
Tito Joel, not remastered, remake.
Remake.
Remake ko siya.
Oo,
Ah,
there
yeah.
you go. Oo, a remake of Thousand Arms would be so much
Remake.
fun
yes.
because it's a great dating simulator. Oh yeah, Joe. No,
Imagine
I
free
pass it
roam.
off to you. I'm passing it off to you, Joe. What's your opinion on the positives and negatives of remakes and remasters? Mabilisan lang. Just a really quick.
I like the
Here we
face,
go.
Sir Joe. I like the
Mm-mm.
Here we
face.
go.
Yeah.
Vuelo.
I
Mm-mm.
like the
Yes,
face.
Joe.
These kids nowadays,
Nako, yun na.
Nice, nice
very
start. Nice start.
kids
Nice start.
nowadays,
Get off my
proclaiming
lawn.
their
Okay.
proclaiming their experts playing
Mm-mm.
Fortnite, cannot
Mm-mm.
even finish the first stage of Contra.
That's true.
And there,
Deadline.
there
Be
goes our
honest.
viewership.
All right. In regarding with Thousand Arms, I would
Mhm.
only agree if they change if it's a full remake, make it a proper turn-based game. The
Okay.
problem
Yeah, yun.
the problem that I have with Thousand Arms is the game is the battle mechanics. You can only control one character when you're fighting the enemies,
That's
and
true.
then if you're done with that character, you swap. So you're
Mhm.
not. So it's not the traditional three characters in front battling a
Mhm.
horde of enemies.
Kaya
No,
sinasabi ko,
you're only
Sir Joe,
controlling one.
remake. Kaya
Mhm.
A
sinasabi ko
remake.
remake
Remake
kasi
yun.
remake siya.
So
Pangit
remake.
yung battle system talaga ng Thousand Arms eh, sad to say.
Yeah, that's true.
And that I mean, I have no problems with the dating simulation of Thousand Arms.
Mhm.
Actually, they're
Hindi
going.
naman ang hapon ko
Although
dun.
if they're going to remake this, more visual enhancements,
Okay.
more visual
Basically,
enhancements.
yeah, basically,
Hoyaverse,
Looking
we're
at you,
looking at you.
looking at you,
Hoyaverse, hello.
Atlas. You know this after years of Persona. You know
Yeah.
this. All
Atlas,
right.
take note on Hoyaverse, please. Thank you.
Oh, there
More
you go.
girls, okay?
Mhm.
More girls to date. And it's not just about mice. Bigyan naman, how about Musa, right?
Okay,
I
there you
mean,
go.
it's not about mice, okay? Mice is not the only guy there. I mean, Musa needs
Mhm.
some pussy as well.
Mm.
Anyway,
Okay, fine.
anyway,
No, it's a
um,
very good point, and more jiggle physics, definitely more
more
jiggle
jiggle
physics.
physics.
Jom
Uh,
Enten says Jom Enten of Jomar Facebook gaming page on Twitch and on YouTube also says
oh,
remake Summertime Saga to VR, please. Very valid proposal. Remake Summertime Saga to VR, please. Okay, and of course, let's not forget Baruna Royka on Twitch, who says no new launch na something revolutionary or sets it apart. I guess that's a very pertinent point actually,
I
Gami.
oh I actually have a dyan.
Mm,
I actually have a rebuttal for that one.
go ahead, Mama
Look,
Ju.
if I'm going to see Ares dying in high def, okay.
Yun na.
If I'm going
Hindi,
to
kasi ganito
if
eh.
I'm going to do
Spoilers,
that all
spoilers.
over again
Yeah.
Okay.
in
Yeah.
high def, all
Well,
right.
in
Hindi, kasi
fairness,
ano
ang
tawag dito,
ginawa
I
nila
have,
kay Tipat, same pa rin malaki pa rin ang
yeah.
dede. So, given na,
Right.
maganda pa rin na remake.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Yeah, and no,
Fourteen.
as far as like my rebuttal on that is concerned is that like
Mm,
ano eh, ang tanong dito is that do you stick onto the original that we have right now is because of the canons that you have in your head? Are you
mm,
actually doing that for the sake of nostalgia? Kasi
um,
the thing is this like I do get it because I am a big fan of the Final Fantasy 7 series as well. Pero let's
mm,
face it, as the series grows, along with all the other things that came out, Crisis Core,
mm,
even the movie Advent Children, all the other let's put all of the games that came out of that. All of them are all included within that world. When a world has to
mm.
expand, there are certain things that are going to be adjusted. As a
Yes.
storyteller, whether you like it or not, the moment that you expand your world is the moment that you know that there are certain things that are going to be either retconned or are going to
Mm,
be changed. But
mm,
considering that like how they want to make sure that like everybody is actually going to enjoy Final Fantasy 7, they
mm,
try to start playing with our heartstring and say there might be a chance. And you know what I meant
mm.
by there might be a chance.
Yes,
Wherein
And
definitely.
trust
it's
me,
son of a bitch.
I hate the new characters. I hate the new characters that are showing up. It feels like
Mm,
as if para mga ano sila like I don't even remember you, nor do I don't even think that you're important in this game. But the thing
Mm-hmm.
is that like you have to look at it as a new set of eyes. Eh. Now,
Mm-hmm.
yes, like the gaming system, which is like yung battle system niya is very different from the old one. I get that. I wish
Yeah.
that we could actually go with the old days of turn based and whatnot. But
Mm.
the thing is that like this remake is a remake. It's not a remaster. We already have the remaster itself. We can enjoy
Mm.
the remaster. Now, if we're just going to be annoyed because of the story plot and whatnot, that just goes
Mm.
to show how much that like ano eh, tawag dito, we're holding on too much on nostalgia and not give the storyteller a chance
Yeah.
to actually expand his world.
Well, you've got a very good point on that one. I know Joe has a rebuttal to your rebuttal. Then, Mama Chu. Let's hear what Joe has to say.
Ayan,
It's not
turn-based
much of a
action.
rebuttal.
Mm.
It's not much of a rebuttal, but more of a piggyback.
Mm.
I I already had my piece
Mm.
when Advent Children came out,
Yeah, same
and
here.
Aries had to say her goodbyes.
Yeah.
It's
Mm.
not
Agreed.
just to Cloud; it was to
Mm.
all of us.
Yes.
Yeah.
Mm.
Mhm.
Iyak ako.
Mm.
So in the remake, I just want her. If they're going, if I would prefer her dying again, but make it
Mm.
a little bit more dramatic, if
Mm.
that makes sense.
Oh, a sword through your midsection
No,
from the back is a dramatic enough.
I mean the send off. In the
Okay.
original Final Fantasy VII, because of the limitation of the technology at the time,
Mm-hmm.
the send off that they sent her, the send off was
Mm-hmm.
Cloud letting her. I think she was still alive at the time, but no, she just
Mm-hmm.
Nag-drop
put
na.
put her on the lake,
Mm-hmm.
basically drowning her.
You know
Oh,
You
what
know,
movie?
gave her a water funeral, if that makes sense.
Mm. Yeah.
So they put her body
Mm.
on this lake, and then her body was absorbed to the live stream. Yada yada yada.
Mm.
Mm.
I wanted for them to have some time to mourn,
Mm.
to
yeah.
contemplate on the situation more. With the
Mm.
Final Fantasy VII, yes, they talked about it for a while, but no, they have to go to the next event, which is
Mm.
fighting Sephiroth all together,
Mm.
preparing themselves. I wanted them to feel the gravity of the situation that Ares had to die. I want Cloud,
Mm.
or at least look at Tifa, Tra, rebound sex, or something like that.
Of
Yeah.
course.
Hey,
Ano,
madali lang.
tawag dito. Yeah.
Mm.
May,
Yes.
may gusto
Di
lang
ba?
akong i-emphasize kasi sabi ni Saiga,
Oh.
God, Tifa's chess is the future of humanity. Tama naman talaga. Ito yung talaga yung nag-save sa FF7 remake.
Yes.
Yung Dead
That's
and
true.
Yes.
That's
I mean,
very
I
true.
mean, God forbid, God forbid
Mm.
with the remake. There are a lot of people asking, "Oh, how's Tifa's chest look like?"
Mm.
Yeah, well, that's the first question, diba? Pero alam niyo yung nakakatawa dito. It reminds me of a thing. You know how like in Resident Evil, we have like the active time system, yung
Yeah.
ATS.
Mm.
yes.
Mm.
I remember a friend of mine who was actually when we were playing Resident Evil 4, he
Mm.
saw the ATS scenes. Alam mo ko anong unang sinabi kagad ng best friend ko?
Mm.
Where was this when Tifa died?
Well, there you go. It's what it's. Wait. Where was this when Tifa died? Wait. Okay.
The
Let
active
me.
time system, he was hoping that like the ATS, there would have been an ATS for you to parry Sephiroth away from Eren. Sabi niya, this ATS system, where were this when Tifa died? I wish it was there. Because
Okay.
ang puto ko dito is this eh. Ang puto ko dito is this is like,
Mm.
you know, Saiga is holding on to the point that
Mm.
Eret has to die because that's the
Yes.
way that canon works for him.
Mm-mm.
Remake, if you guys have been noticing, is that like Nomura is already showing us that like this is more than just a remake. This
Okay.
is more than just a retelling. This is
Mm.
more honestly, it's a fucking retcon because now
Yes,
we're going to
it is
have like a new set. Yeah,
Mm.
it's not even a remake anymore. It's really a retcon, and we have all these new set of stories and nandito. Ngayon,
Mhm.
the whole mind game is based on will you save her or how can you save her? How are we gonna get through that point? Because here's the
Oh,
thing,
you know
Nomura
what?
knows.
Mhm.
My
Yeah,
theory is that Nomura is a simp for Ares.
Well, it makes sense. It makes sense. Yeah. Yes. Good.
If this
it's
was done like if this
Malamang.
was done like 20 years ago, maybe,
Mhm.
right? But no,
Yeah, but
Square's
you know
very
what,
stupid.
he's doing, right? Because the thing is that like with all the things that dinagdag nila from the
Mhm.
universe ng Final Fantasy 7, what they
Yes.
want is that this remake is now going to support whatever those plots that they throw in there with, like, with Kadaj, with everyone, with, like,
No, oh,
what happened with Vincent Valentine, what happened with
Mhm.
the Turks. They're all
Reiki is
combining it.
right. Oh,
Mhm.
Reiki is right.
Mhm.
They didn't even mention about Phoenix Down.
That's it. There you go.
That is
Mhm.
Why
another thing.
can't they use,
Tama si
why
Ricky
can't they
dyan.
use Phoenix Down?
Oo nga, no?
No,
What the fuck?
Na-reverse
I
Mm.
black
asked about the
armor.
same thing eh. Yeah,
Mhm.
I asked about the same thing to that. Sabi ko, we've always been dying. How come we never use a Phoenix Down on her? Like, how many Phoenix Down do we need? What materia do we need? What
Mhm.
monster do we need to slay? So,
Well,
the thing is
Right?
that there are other fans that do want to save Aerith then.
There are
Now,
mhm.
plot
Nomura
holes in
is
the
playing
story.
on
Yeah.
there there are reasons why Nomura is now playing with our heartstrings. Some people who
Mhm.
have wished to actually save her are now having that weird hope again. But let's
Mhm.
face it, she's still gonna die.
Yeah. Or nga, they can go the whole Marvel route thing again and make this Final Fantasy VII like one of those multiverse things. I mean, Final Fantasy in itself is technically a multiverse in itself already, because of the fact that it's all sharing a few certain things like Sid, crystals, chocobos, and everything. They're all supposed to be kind of connected, but they're not. So it could be another multiverse thing where Final Fantasy VII, they're two different universes. Anyway, Raymond was signaling. Go ahead, Raymond.
What if, eto
Mhm,
si Nomura, sabi
mhm,
niya biglang tinopak. Sabi niya,
mhm.
"Sige, palitan natin yung storyline. Ang
Yes.
mamamatay si Tifa."
Oh,
Papayag kayo?
that's actually a very valid
Ako
point.
tatanungin ninyo?
Mhm.
Yes.
No!
Hindi, alam niyo kung bakit? You know why
Mhm.
I would say yes?
Why?
It will have a far more stronger effect kay Cloud.
Really?
Mm,
Hmm,
Yeah.
uh, I,
No,
childhood
look,
Even
okay, okay. The
Okay.
Aerith's
Go,
death
go, go, go,
is
go.
already traumatic as it is, right? It's
yes.
traumatic as it is, but let's also face the fact that that Cloud is also trying to stand in for fucking Zack. Okay,
Mm,
but if you
yes.
look at it in a hindsight, with the childhood friendship that Tifa and Cloud has, the promise that they have for each other, and at the same time the guilt of losing their village, and at the same time all these things that he's trying to run away from. If
Mhm,
Tifa dies on the hands of Sephiroth without having the resolution, so finally yung kinakatakutan ni Cloud, where all of the people in his town, every part of his childhood, is finally gone. That would be
mhm.
so damaging.
That is very true. That's no, that's a very good argument on that one. Because Aerith is just one of the things that he kind of latches onto, and it's not even really his emotions and memories when you stop and think about it. It's just holdovers from Zack. That's no, that's a very good argument actually, Mamuchu. But first things first, I'd like to acknowledge some people in the
Nice.
chat.
Yeah.
Roberto Carizo, who says some games are better in original gameplay, but don't need remakes. And of course, our
Yeah.
very good friend Daniel Dignadice of Dan Dice Gaming, who says
Mm.
if they remake the story, that would be great too. Something like that. I think his one of his messages here is the story should also be reworked on certain remakes and remasters, because that's also one of the central things about remakes and remasters. I think Joe had something to say about that one first, though. Go ahead, Joe.
Days
One of the
babies.
main reasons why Ares dying had more weight was
Hmm.
because most of the storytelling between her and Cloud was a bit more
Hmm.
developed compared to Cloud and Tifa.
Hmm.
Mm.
If in
It's
the
childhood
remake,
friend versus new girlfriend.
no, ito, for example, I have a childhood friend, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
go ahead.
And if I have a childhood friend, but I never really get past to the point na, oh, sige, na I'll
Hmm.
grow romantic feelings towards her.
Yes.
And then I'm going to meet someone na talagang hindi ko na out of the left field, and then
Hmm.
nag-spark.
Yes.
That's the thing with although let's take Zach out of the way first. Let's
Hmm.
just say na when a typical boy meets girl na situation.
Hmm.
Cloud meeting Tifa for the first time. Cloud meeting Ares for the first time. Yeah.
Hmm.
And their first meeting alone may pagka ano rin, may pagka romanticism din, right?
Hmm.
There's that romantic scene, not really romantic scene, but the
An emotional
cutesy,
scene.
sweet, emotional kind
Mm,
of thing as well.
mm,
But with Tifa and Cloud, it was just established that they're friends.
mm,
Yes, you'll see some flashbacks about them when they were kids. But
mm,
with Tifa, but with Cloud and Ares, when they're having their private moments walking in the
mm,
middle of the night, you were
mm,
you're kind of teased that are they you know what I mean, guys?
mm.
Are they, will they, kind of
Aha.
feeling.
I see, I
Yeah,
see. Will there,
but
won't they?
you also
Right.
have to also add in here. Oh,
And this
Mm,
is
yeah.
and this is one of the tropes of the Japanese rom-coms. Sir Joel will
mm,
know this.
mm,
It's
Yeah.
not about the physical intimacy,
mm.
the little things, the
It's
sweet
the
gesture, sweet
anticipation.
words,
It's the
the
anticipation, really.
anticipation. For
Mm,
us who likes reading Japanese manga and rom-coms,
yes. Mm.
those are enough to make us feel good, actually. Hindi katulad ng,
Yeah.
it's
Oh,
not about the West, hindi katulad
you
ng mga
added
Western stories na
Mm.
yeah.
nalaplapan na kagad, kissing-kissing, they have to kiss, they hook up right on the first date. No,
Mm-mm. Yes. Mm-mm.
they talk it out
You added
first,
Japanese
give some
rom-com.
smile,
You added
right? Flirt,
Mm-mm.
kahit, I mean, even with the slightest uncensored hand holding,
Mm-mm.
we are so excited for that kind of progress, that kind of story, that kind of Japanese storytelling, right? In terms
Mm-mm.
of
Very true.
romance, if
Very
they
true.
did that more with Tifa,
Mm-mm.
and
Then you'd
then
then you'd be more invested in her being
yeah,
okay, I see, I
if,
see
if,
what your
if
what your
the
point
story
is.
no,
if the story was invested on them,
but
Mm-mm.
you
sure,
added the Japanese rom-com dito, Quiz Joe eh.
or at least have
Mm-mm.
an equal,
Mm-hmm.
if
Okay.
at least we have an equal standing in terms of Cloud's affection pa.
Sabagay, that's true, that's true.
Yeah,
In a way,
but you know what's the funny thing? What's the funny thing here is that like you added the Japanese rom-com trope here at
mm,
saka yung
yes,
kumbaga anime tropes about like, you know, rom-coms.
yes.
That also means that like if we're gonna use that card in here, Tifa
Mm,
still has like the stronger hold because she
yes,
is the childhood friend.
she is, yes. That's true.
And
Diba?
childhood
But
friend never
also,
wins. Childhood friend never
uh,
wins. Japanese
you're
rom
right.
from 101.
Exactly, exactly.
Japanese
The
from
Japanese childhood friend will never win. However, you do know that like things will start to change if shit hits the fan, i.e.,
Yeah,
separate sword.
that's
Now,
true, that's true.
you're right. I do agree in one thing that like basically Aerith has a burden in her chest, which is called the plot device, and so
Yes.
as also the story.
yes,
Tifa has a
yes,
burden on her chest, which is basically
yes,
her
yes, yes.
juggies.
Mm-mm.
I have a question, guys. I have a
Go ahead.
question.
Go ahead, Raymond. Go ahead.
Ilalabas na rin kasi ang eto, papakita ko lang sa inyo,
Okay,
guys.
go ahead.
Ilalabas na rin kasi ang
Rebirth.
Final Fantasy 7
Rebirth.
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 Yeah.
As a JRPG fan, Sergio,
Mm.
what are your thoughts about this? Kasi
Mhm.
ito na yung parang distun niya eh.
Yes.
I haven't watched the whole trailer yet. In
Mhm.
stills yet.
You should.
But no. The
Kuroko
only
siya.
reason why I don't want to get hyped, because once I
Mhm.
play the game and because I'm a story,
That's
because
the
apparently
one right there.
because apparently I'm a story guy.
Mm.
All of this is just hype images for me. It's still the same old active action RPG kind of
Mm-mm.
thing.
Okay.
But yes,
Hmm.
sure. Visuals stunning as always.
Mm.
I mean, it doesn't take away from the first game. Although
Mm.
I am excited about what they're going to do with Vincent, what they're going to do with Kitesy,
Mm.
right?
Okay. I see what you're saying.
This
Oh, and Sid.
news nga eh, parang hindi
Mm.
play, ano lang, kasama lang nila si Vincent Valentine,
Mhm.
but it it's not a playable
Yeah.
character.
That's what they said
Uh,
nga eh.
Yun yung
mm.
base sa ano,
Even I
as
was
of,
like a bit disappointed on that one.
like, what the hell? Why?
Mhm. Oh,
Ang
I'd
mahal pa
like to.
naman niya.
Oh well, there you go. I'd like to acknowledge Bernal Drew on the chats.
Hello.
Let's just read his comment. My whole opinion on the subject of remasters are a very very welcome trend, as most people who play these games are either through rental shops or pirated copies. having the opportunity to own these games and play them again and put money into this franchise gives us the opportunity to talk with our wallets. Very important. As for remakes, one moment. As for remakes, the chance to play these games how the devs actually want them, they've actually wanted them to be made with the tech that is available to us now and experience them in a whole new light. So both of these things are good. Okay, he's got a very very pertinent point on that one. Bernal
Yeah.
Drew, thank you very much for your comment on that one.
Thank you, thank you. Very well
Yes,
thought.
Joe, go ahead. Raising hands, Joe.
Um, so we're already on the 1 hour mark. Might as well just
Mm,
get it out of the way. So because
okay.
of this topic, guys, I have a few games here,
Oh yeah, go
and
ahead. Mm.
starting with remaster.
we'll
So
get we'll get
I'll just run quick right through
we'll
them.
get to
Teka, sige,
GDM
Um,
skip.
after Joe. Mm. Go ahead,
And
go ahead, Joe.
with the JRPGs, guys, there are a lot of remasters and
Mm.
remakes for the
Yes.
last 10 years. No,
Mm.
not really. For the last 15 years or so.
Mm.
So let's get through all of them. So you
Yeah.
got your Xenoblade
Xenoblade
for the Wii
Chronicles.
original, and then you got
Yes.
your
Mm.
definitive
Yes.
edition for your Switch.
Switch. Yes. Mm.
Next, you got your Persona 4 for the PS2, and then it got a remaster, Persona 4 Golden for the PS Vita.
Vita. Yes.
We talked about
And
this game before, Valkyria Chronicles for the PlayStation
oh, nice
3,
one. Yes.
and a remastered for the PlayStation 4 with all of the
Mm.
DLCs included.
Yes.
I mean, that's all they added, actually.
Mm.
Tokyo Mirage Sessions,
Oh.
hashtag
Okay.
FE for the Nintendo
Okay.
Wii, and we got a remastered version for the Switch, Encore.
Mm. Nice.
Oo,
You
tama.
got Tales of Symphonia for the GameCube
Okay.
original, and your Tales of Symphonia Symphonia 2,
Mm.
Dawn of the New World for the
Yes.
Nintendo Wii, and both
Mm.
games were remastered as a two-in-one bundle
Um.
for your
On
PlayStation
PS3.
3.
Yes.
You got your Radiant Historia for the Nintendo DS, which got
Mm.
a remaster for the 3DS,
For the
Radiant
3DS.
Historia Perfect
Mm.
Chronology.
Yes.
You got your Tales of Hearts R for exclusive only for the for Japan, which is your Nintendo DS original, which got
Mm.
a remaster. Unfortunately, Japan only.
Ah.
Tales of
For the
Hearts
PS
R
Vita.
for your PlayStation Vita.
Yes.
You got your Tales of no, that was the wrong one.
Okay.
Sabi ko sa inyo, puro
Tales
JRPG
of
ang
Innocence.
Oh,
papalabas
yeah.
nito.
Talaga. Oo, talaga. Totoo naman
Tales of
eh.
Innocence. So this is Tales of Hearts R
Mm.
got
Yes, that one.
for your Vita.
Yes.
Oh, classic one for the DS. The World Ends with You,
Oh,
original,
yeah.
right?
Mm.
And then it got a remaster
On
for
the
the
Switch.
Switch.
Yes. There you go.
A PS1 classic, Saga Frontier for the PS1, and then you got a remaster for the Switch.
On the Switch. Yes. There you go.
Sir JDM might know this one. You
Mhm.
got your original Star Ocean for the Super
Mm.
Famicom, Japanese original,
Yeah.
unfortunately. And then it got a remaster for the PSP, Star
Or
Ocean First Departure.
first departure.
Mhm.
And then the sequel, you got your original PlayStation 1 Star Ocean,
Yes.
the second story, which
Yes.
also got a remaster for the PSP, Star Ocean Second Evolution.
And it's going to be coming
And
out
yeah.
on Switch. Very
Switch
with
as well. The game that got me hooked into JRPGs in the first place, you got your Tales of Destiny for the original PS1, which
Yeah.
got a remaster, unfortunately Japanese only, but it has a fan
An English
translation,
patch. Yes.
English patch, Tales of Destiny remaster. Actually, this is not a remaster; it's a remake.
It's a remake. Yes.
Is it? Oh, yeah.
Yes.
For the PlayStation 2.
Yes.
Of
So
course, your
with
Final
those,
Fantasy 8
Oh, yeah.
Ayan.
got for the original
Ayan.
or the original PS1 got a remaster for the PlayStation 4.
And Raymond is showing the Switch versions as well, remastered of Final Fantasy 7 and 8 on the
Actually, hindi
Nintendo.
ko nga alam kung bakit ko binili tong hayop na to eh.
Because you like it.
Ano magdala-dala, Raymond? Malaro habang
Hindi, para
gumaandar
makita
ka,
lang
di
yung
ba?
ano, yung handsome face ni ano, 'di ba,
Oh, there you go.
ni
That's it.
See, I'm
Squall.
not a fan of it eh. Nalalandian ako
Naku,
kay
ayan na.
jowa dito.
Ayan
Nalalandian.
na, ayan na.
You got your
Ah,
Final Fantasy 7, and
Mm.
then
Ah,
you got your PS4
Yeah.
remakes. The
Yeah.
original PS4, no,
Mm.
PS4,
PS4.
and
There
then
you
your
go.
intergrade. Nakasama
Yes.
lang na Yuffie is just there. And I'm not even
Mm.
sure why not even include her in the first place.
Mhm.
Kasi
On
nga
the original
DLC.
series.
Ayop
yeah,
ka,
Chris
Square
Mod, ingat ka sa sinasabi mo, baka lumitaw si Tres sa, sa chatroom.
Okay, there you go.
For the
Pero
for the original
eto, may
PS1,
question
you
ako
got
kay
your
Sir
Lunar.
Jo.
So
There you
Lunar
go.
Silver Star Story, which is basically the original one came from Sega CD,
Sega,
and then it
ayan.
got a remaster, a remake for the PlayStation One, which also got a remake remaster for the PSP.
PSP.
Lunar
And
Kaya pala
Superstar Harmony.
I think I can't really call it a remake or a remaster. It's a port on the Game Boy Advance then. Anyway, continue.
For the Chrono Cross for the
Oh yeah.
PS1, just recently got a remaster Chrono
Yes.
Cross, the Radical Dreamers edition for the Nintendo
Mm.
Switch.
There you go. Yes.
You got your Grandia for the PS1 and
Mhm.
Grandia 2 for the Sega Dreamcast. Bundle them
Mhm.
together.
For the
You
Nintendo
got
Switch.
Grandia HD.
Yes.
O, di ba?
So you got
Oh
two
yeah.
in
Ano
one
lang eh.
for the Nintendo Switch.
Mm-mm.
Okay, guys, so we're still
Enhance.
halfway.
Tama naman
May
eh. I
question
mean,
ako, Sir Jo. I have a question.
Yes.
Raymond has a question.
Sa lahat ng pinakita mong JRPGs, what JRPG game would you love to be remake?
Mhm.
Would I love to be remade?
Remade, not
Kasi
remastered.
lahat
Sorry.
yan,
Kasi
yung
remaster.
pinapakita mo is like parang remastered lang.
Yes.
In-enhance lang yung graphics,
Very
pinort lang sa different
Ibang
na
console.
console.
yes.
So,
Very
on all those games that
mhm.
you you
You showed so far.
you showed us,
Mhm.
ano yung gusto mong ma-remake?
Yes, that's a very that's a very pertinent question. Remake is as in a full
Yung
overhaul of
yung
everything.
nababantutan ka sa sa fighting system.
Oh
Ano
yeah,
yun,
okay.
'di ba?
Yeah, that's true. Okay, there you go. I think Joe's
Thousand
having a little bit.
Arms.
Yeah, go ahead. Thousand
One-chan bara. One-chan bara.
Oh, I got Onechan. I got Onechan Bara there.
Oh my
Hindi ko lang siya
God.
kinuha kasi I don't have the original.
Okay, that's fine.
I don't have the original. But I got Onechan Bara there for the PS4. If I'm going to remake something aside from Thousand Arms,
Yes.
Xenogears is one.
Yes.
Remake the whole thing, especially with what happened with these two.
Yes.
I would say Skies of Arcadia for the Sega Dreamcast.
Yes. Guys of
Yes,
Arcadia.
you got the GameCube port, but remake the
Mhm.
whole thing.
Mhm.
It's just so blocky with the current technology that we have now, especially with Sega doing with Yakuza and their Subsidiary Atlus. They could make a lot more work there.
Mm.
Aside from Thousand Arms, I would say Legend of Dragoon.
Oh,
For the
good
PS1.
choice. Good
Mm.
choice. Yes.
Get rid of the addition systems. God damn it. Think of something else. We don't need that.
Mm.
We
Pero
we don't
ito
need that. And
kasi naging uniqueness yun ng Dragoon. So,
Yeah, that's
siguro
true.
i-enhance lang nila.
Mhm.
Ano, diba?
Or like maybe just tweak it a little bit siguro. I-tweak
Tweak it
nila
a
ng
little
konti.
bit.
Something like
Pero
that.
hoping nga. Hoping. Yan.
Joe, you had a few more things to show?
last three.
Okay, last three. Okay, go ahead.
Just recently, because of Nihon Falcom is on the roll lately. You got Trails of Zero originally came out for the PSP, and then you got a remaster for the PlayStation 4 and Switch.
Yes.
And then the sequel of it, of Trails to Azure, originally came out for the PSP, and then remastered for the PS4 and Switch.
Yes.
Trails of the Azure, and out of all of those, things that I showed you, all I played was the original. I hardly played the
The
remaster, the
Mhm.
remaster slash remix. But if there's one thing na talaga nalaro ko, both original and the remake,
Mhm.
oh remake slash remaster, Tales of
Mhm.
Vesperia for
Mhm.
the original Xbox 360 that got a definitive edition for the
Mhm.
PlayStation 4 and Switch. So if I'm going to answer what's the difference here with Tales of Vesperia, this is one of the games that the only reason why I bought a Xbox 360 in the first place just to play this.
Mhm.
And I think I mentioned this before with Tales of Vesperia for the Xbox 360, they just want a JRPG exclusive for the Xbox.
Ah.
So they have to the rumor was they have Microsoft had to rush Namco Bandai
Mhm.
in producing Tales of Vesperia, that some of the important things that were not included.
Mhm.
The complete version of it will be released on the PlayStation 3 instead.
Mhm.
However, in Japanese only. It took them a few years until they released the definitive edition. Basically,
Mhm.
everything in the PlayStation 3 but localized came out for
Mhm.
the PlayStation 4.
Mhm.
So
Okay.
so what's new about the definitive edition? You got two
Yes.
more characters here that were not available on the first one.
Mhm.
A few more special moves and a few more animated movie scenes as well.
Mhm.
But the
Okay.
story remains the same. Maybe a few special dungeons here and there, but pretty much the same thing, story wise.
Mhm.
So yeah, Final Fantasy, of course, Final Fantasy 10. You got a lot of definitive editions for. You got some remasters on the PS Vita, PS3, PS4. Meron pa yata PS5, I think. How many more like? eh, I would say Final Fantasy 10 would be the second title out of the Final Fantasy series that tends to get overused aside from
Mm.
Final Fantasy 7.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Mm.
that's all. That's all for my show and tell. Thank you,
Well, no,
guys.
it's really it's
Show
really
and tell
telling
pala yun.
actually. Mm. What was
Show and
that,
tell
Nadine?
yun.
Show
Show
and
and
tell
tell
pala
pala
yun.
yun.
Hindi,
Napakita mo na
actually,
rin yung pinabili mo sa Geek Pop.
oh, there you
Oh,
go.
that's
Hmm.
different.
Oh,
Those are
that's
just original
different.
games.
Yeah, those are the Rhapsody. Actually, Rhapsody is pinakita
Rhapsody.
ni ano ni Raymond. Rhapsody, which was originally on PS1, nagkaroon ng
That's what, yeah.
re-release or
Re-release
remaster
pa
sa
tawag dun. If
yeah.
it's basically the same game,
Yes,
it's not
oo
really a
nga.
remaster.
Yeah, it's not
If they
really a
really
remaster.
did,
It's more of a
they
port.
didn't do
It's more of
anything
a
with it.
port. Yeah, there's a
It's
difference
more
between
of a port.
yeah, it's more of a port. Actually, here, before we jump into JDM's selections, I'd like to acknowledge a few more people in the chats. Orange Coffee on Chich, who says, Vagrant Story, iniintay ko na ma-remake. Good choice in Orange Coffee. Vagrant Story, one of the better
Yes.
RPGs
Oh
of
yeah,
all
Vagrant
time.
Story. Yeah.
Vagrant
Yeah.
Story. And of course, let's not forget Mr. Christopher Abistado, who says Tales of Innocence DS at PS Vita. Very good. And of course, let's also say hi to Jerome Cancila Puaso, who says Tales of Graces is also my favorite. And I hope they reimagine Tales of Fantasia into 3D, the first action RPG I played. Very, very good choice. Let's see, Christopher Abistado, who says upscaled is remaster. And let's not forget one of our Timeless Gamer panelists who couldn't make it today, but one of our valued members, Miss Eileen Tadeo of Ensign Porter, who says, RPG wise, I wish they would remaster or remake the Breath of Fire series. Yes,
Ooh. Mega love
Breath of
shoutouts,
Fire
yes,
would be great.
Eileen.
Yes, Miss Eileen, one of our valued members, one of our companions
Capcom.
who can't make it. Yes, there you go. All right. Now we're jumping into. I kind of know what GDM selections are. Again, I laid out the rules. Now we can do repeats of games as long as you can point out something different from what was pointed out before. JDM, come in, and I'd like to
Yeah.
hear your choices as to who your favorite games that have been remade or remastered, or the ones that you hated but are happy that were remastered. Go
Ito
ahead.
Joanne,
Pasok.
wild guess ko lang kay kay
Mm.
Juan. Wild
Oh
guess
yeah,
lang to
I'll go ahead.
Kasama ba diyan Metal Gear?
Oh naman, I'm
Yes.
absolutely sure. Yeah.
Katribo ko yan.
Oh,
Hindi ko
yeah.
sana siya isasama but
Hindi,
i-ano na
well,
lang din
guess lang
natin.
naman, guys.
No, what
Oo.
Ano lang naman
Baka
yun,
lang no,
well,
baka
guess
lang
lang.
naman.
Oo,
Oh, yeah.
baka
Ah,
sakali
Yeah.
lang ako, baka
No,
oo.
mamaya.
allowed tayo as long as JDM can point out the things that are a little different from what was mentioned before. Go ahead, JDM.
Ayan. So sa akin naman, few games. First, since na-mention na ni Kuya Raymond, Resident Evil 3, the remastered,
Mm.
ay
Yes.
the remake.
Yes.
It's really disappointing kasi
Mm.
Resident Evil 3 is one of my my favorite games in the series.
Oh. Mm.
Uh, because you have yung Resident Evil 3 kasi din naman is hindi siya matatawag na sequel kasi 'di
Mm.
ba magkaano lang sila, the timeline of Resident Evil 2 and Resident Evil 3 is like intertwined. It's like
Mm.
ano siya eh, it's like a prequel
Mm.
and a sequel at the same time
Oh, okay.
because
Hindi mo siya
sa
pwedeng
Resident
sabihin sequel and sequel,
Mm.
one.
Mm.
Um, same sila ng time na same sila ng time na ginugugol ni Leon and
Mm.
Claire
So parang
at the same
parallel
time
sila. They're parallel
ah,
timelines. Okay, okay.
parallel timeline lang. So
Okay.
parehas ng oras
Mm.
ng ng pwesto.
Oo.
Yun lang na hindi
ah,
nagkakabanggaan.
I
siguro
see.
sa
Well,
I guess in the cutscenes kasi yung kaya ko nasabi na parang prequel kasi at the
mm.
beginning of Resident Evil 3,
Mm.
'di ba, parang nag-barricade pa sila. Yun pa yung time, parang nauna lang siya ng konti, ng ilang oras siguro or minutes. Kasi
Mm.
hindi pa gano'n karami yung mga
Mm.
then we go to the remake,
Mm.
marami talaga nawala. Like yung clock tower, it's like a battleground lang, 'di ba?
Mm.
Yeah,
Ginawa lang nilang
exactly.
battleground. Tapos
Mm.
yung mga puzzles din, I was expecting yung water sample,
Water
yung pinaka
sample.
oo.
Ako nag-expect din ako na medyo
Hmm,
pahirapan nila yung puzzle niya, pero
yes.
yan.
Ano siya, if you're casual sa mga gano'n, like first time mo nalaro yung Resident Evil 3 dahil you haven't played the original,
Mm.
maso-solve mo agad yung mga puzzles and napaka-straightforward ng story. Yung most of the fans of the original game,
Mm.
they parang expected yung mga ay not expected. It's like scripted yung paglabas ni Nemesis sa kada
Mm.
corners. Unlike sa Resident Evil 3, you're not expecting na he would come out of yung tawag dun yung sa window,
Mm.
'di ba?
You know
Okay.
So,
why? Because the kids nowadays are weak.
Mm.
Yun
Yan
nga.
ka
They
na
are
naman,
weak,
Quiz Joe eh. Are we back on that,
and
Fortnite
poor
debacle?
upbringing by the parents.
yun. They did not get the trauma that we had sa original Resident Evil 3. So,
Mm.
next game for me,
Mm.
it's not a remaster per se. Para siyang kumbaga isama na lang din natin
Yeah.
yung Silent Hill Shattered Memories. I
Yes.
consider it parang remake na rin kasi reimagining na remake because the characters are still there. You
Okay.
have your protagonist, ano pangalan nun? Si Harry Mason, still
Mm.
looking for his daughter.
Mm.
Si Cheryl, Cheryl Mason. You also have Dr. Kaufman na naging psychologist instead of a surgeon.
Okay.
Kasi siya yung parang parang siya yung nagsa-psychiatric siya yung psychiatrist nung
Mm. Okay.
protagonist. Double quote and
Mm.
quote because
Mm.
nandun yung twist ng story.
Okay.
And game Ang major disappointment ko is
Mm.
the gameplay mechanic because it's a pure survival horror. Ay, mm, mm, survival horror because
Mm.
there's no like a defense required action actually. You
Mm.
you don't get to hold the gun and point it at the monsters.
Mm.
All you have to do is you explore the town of Silent Hill.
Okay.
Then once you reach the parang yung once you solve the mystery that's happening in that part of the town,
Mm.
it's going to go to the other side, and then all you have to do is outrun the monster that are chasing you.
Mm.
And if you get caught, parang didikit sila sa ay kakapit sila sa. If you're
Mm.
playing the Wii, you can do yung shuffle the Wiimote
Yeah. Okay.
to then you also have the parang flare to scare them away.
Okay.
Yun lang. It's
So,
major disappointment. Kasi
so
they
mhm.
could have na lang added yung sa I mean sa Silent Hill 4 na you have
Mhm.
makeshift weapons na breakable kasi nasisira.
Okay.
Hindi parang ang kasi what they did with Silent Hill Shattered Memories is
Mhm.
they parang story driven kasi siya eh.
Okay.
And the game changes the story depending on the psychological test that the psychiatrist is giving out to you.
Mhm.
Naging siya, parang it's a psychological game na para na siyang it's like the Turing machine, ganon.
Mhm. I
It's like
see.
the
Okay.
imitation game na,
Hmm.
is this real? Is this not real? Parang ganon. The game
Mhm.
is actually testing you na.
Hmm.
Yun ang
Okay.
naging niya, which is not, ah, parang kakaiba sa yun eh, sa mga fans ng Silent Hill because
Mhm.
as we know, Silent Hill, you need to defend yourself. You have your weapons, you have um, your items, health items, ganon.
Mhm.
But this game is na siya, parang nirevamp talaga nila. It's like a completely different game. If
Mhm.
it's not titled Silent Hill, it's like a
Mhm.
different game na talaga.
Okay. I in a way that like you said, GDM, it's a reimagining na nga talaga.
Mm.
Reminds me a little bit of the Alone in the Dark reimaginings, you know. For those of us who played Alone in the Dark in the original DOS version, was it DOS? I think it was DOS, you know, or is it early Windows 95? They came out with an Alone in the Dark reimagining. I think it was on a PS1 na rin, ganon, you know. Same characters, same setting, pero completely different mechanics, completely different
Mm.
motivations and everything. So it's a lot like that actually. From your description of Shattered Memories talaga, you know, with
Yes.
Silent Hill. So it's a complete reimagining, for good or for bad. Wala eh. Talagang it happens nga talaga, you know. I'd also like to acknowledge Christopher Abistado, who's tossing out really good suggestions in the chats here. No? Sabi ni Christopher Abistado, ayaw nila pahirapin yung Gen Z, and yung Tomb Raider Anniversary sa PSP, remake ba yan ng PS1? Pinahaba nila eh. I'm not a Tomb Raider player eh, pero we should ask somebody in the chats or one of our streamers here who actually plays Tomb
If
Raider. Yes, John, go ahead.
um the one way to discern if
Mm-mm.
it's a remake for the
Ah.
Tomb Raider,
Mm-mm.
if you can see Laura's boobs actually bouncing, that's a remake. If it's still
Fine.
pointy and blocky,
Yes.
it's just a port.
But what if it's
Support.
gone? What if it's gone?
Oh,
Wala na nga
then
boobs yung yung Tomb Raider eh, 'di
Yeah,
ba?
nakitan mo na si Lara
Wala
Woke.
no.
That's what I call her,
yeah,
Lara
yes,
Woke.
exactly. Yeah, then it's not Lara
That is
Croft.
the
It's not
worst
the
Tomb
Lara Croft that
Raider
we
na
know.
remake.
Yeah, that's true. Yung mga bago mga Tomb Raider, I think it's Tres Cuenta, Tres Cuenta Gaming who's been playing Tomb Raider in our group.
Ayari.
And I completely forgot. Yan, yan. Oy, Jum Inten says, oy, bold na usapan nyo. Oh, sige,
Dapat
sige.
yung Tomb Raider is Tomb Raider surgically repaired.
Oh,
Oh
nagpa
no, surgically enhanced.
or nag
Enhance, ayan.
yes, there you go. All
Yun
right,
nga,
there
eh,
you
we
go.
wish we would have
Wala.
surgically enhanced, but what we
Yung Tomb
got is
Raider na
surgically
remove.
removed.
Walang
Or
boobs yung Lara
kaya
Croft
nga eh.
doon.
Oo nga, or
Yeah,
I was
but
like,
I
oh,
would
like, look,
admit,
I got
no, no,
pretty
no,
face, but where's my boobs? Oh, look at me,
reduced.
I
no,
suffer.
no.
I'm Lara
No,
Croft.
you know why? Because
Ah,
those boobs are very detrimental when you're tomb raiding. You don't need the
uh,
boobs. It's
I
heavy
mean
when you
it
jump.
No,
yeah, but
well, what about shore swimming? You need some flotation devices.
well, there you go. That's it. I was gonna
Well,
say that.
And
well,
the move
that's why she got the big ass.
also the
Well,
movie
the boobs
followed
also helps
suit.
in aerodynamics when you're jumping from one thing to another. Pag swing ka from one branch to another, the boobs actually adds to your
It doesn't
momentum
help her.
during your aerodynamic somersaults.
It it doesn't help her
The swan
jumping
dive.
from side to side though.
There you go, man. Oh my gosh, you guys. All
And
right, fine.
yung
Before this,
movie it followed suit as well kasi yung si Alicia Vikander, 'di ba? Not
oh,
so gifted, right?
but beforehand, it was originally si Angelina
Eh,
Jolie, and she was very
Angelina
gifted.
Jolie, and she was super
yeah.
gifted
Oh yeah,
yeah.
there you go. Have to
From
admit,
lips
you
to
did.
boobs.
Oh, agreed. That's true. That's very true. Was it Alicia Vikander? I haven't seen the new Tomb Raider movies. I have to check them out.
The new
The new ones, the new
the
Tomb
new
Raider movies. I mean, if there is one, Rule 34. Okay, anyway. Pero hindi, that's
I'm on it.
Jewel Raider,
yeah, I'll have to check the
the
new
Jewel
movies.
Rider.
Yeah.
I would love to raid her tomb, going
No,
in and out,
yes.
in and
I
out,
Absolutely,
saw
yes.
in
ano
and
Mm-mm.
out.
yung Jewel Rider tapos
Mm-mm.
may isang character Bruce Wayne yung name.
Oh, I didn't know that. Dude. Oh my
Oh,
gosh. All right.
Sauce, please.
search mo
Pakidala,
yan.
paki-PM na lang sa akin, Chris JDM. Thank you.
EMU sauce. All right. So now I'm going to
Panood
jump
yan.
in.
Who
Uh,
wants their tombs to be raided?
oh my gosh, fine. O sige, now
Parang
it's my
ibang
turn
Tomb
Pow,
naman.
Raider yung
pow, pow.
pinapanood nyo Tsaka
Ayan,
nilalaro nyo
I'll be jumping into the fray naman. I'll be mentioning my two games that I prefer when it comes to remakes and remasters. The first game that I'm going to talk about is um, the Baldur's Gate series. The Baldur's Gate series. Actually, it's called the Infinity Games Saga.
We're talking Baldur's
The
Gate.
original games were came out in Windows 95 or 98 back then, way back when.
Hmm.
Baldur's Gate 1 and 2, Planescape Torment, and Icewind Dale. Too bad they don't have Icewind Dale 2, but hoping someday in the future they will do that. The enhanced editions of Baldur's Gate. Actually, for those of you who are uninitiated, the Infinity Engine games are some of the best role-playing games that you'll ever have the chance to play in your life. If you get the chance to play one, it would just one game, it would be Planescape Torment, because this poses a lot of questions about life, morality, who you are as a man, what makes you as a person. This is the game to play. If the what's one game, but if it's two games that you get to play, it will be the Baldur's Gate series, because this one redefined Western RPGs in as what is possible sa mga RPGs dito sa West. Now the thing about it is these ports they're not actually ports. They're remasters nga talaga. Remakes pala, sorry. Because of the fact that they use a completely different engine, but they utilize all the things that actually worked in the original DOS or Windows releases, and they place them just as well during the Switch. One advantage of remasters, remakes, and ports is the fact that you can actually carry these amazing games with you wherever you go now. Kapag nagbakasyon ka, if you go out on vacation, someplace where you are far off and you have nothing to do, play through these games and you are going to completely forget what's happening on the outside world. Talagang magiging isa sa mga adventures mo na talagang magpapakasaya ka ng todo-todo with going through the Dungeons and Dragons series and the Advanced Dungeons and Dragons saga and settings. Ito yung isa sa mga favorite na games ko that I would recommend. They remade almost everything. The engine, the graphics, the sound, the gameplay, and again, big advantage, pwede mo na siyang dalhin-dalhin. You can bring these games wherever you like. Okay, and let's see. My second suggestion when it comes to remakes is nabanggit na ito ni Joe kanina,
Uy,
Yakuza
Yakuza.
Kiwami.
Yeah.
Yakuza Kiwami.
Yeah.
I had the chance to play this game long ago, way back when sa PlayStation 2. I'm sorry to have to say na hindi ako na-impress sa kanya. As in I played through it marami akong mga na enjoy. It came off as a regular old gangster movie style yung yung
Yes,
sa
tama,
Yakuza
tama,
sa
Chris.
PS2
Baka
ganun. So
Mitay.
yeah, it wasn't really impressive to
Baga,
me back
dami,
then.
dami.
Pero when this one came out, Yakuza Kiwami on PlayStation 4, talagang sinagad ko yung enjoyment ko rito. It the whole of Kamurocho, the environment that he was that Kazuma Kiri was going through came to life. The story was much deeper, marami akong naging involvement, and sa dami ng mga mini games na pwede mo siyang laruin, like bowling, batting, yung mga gambling games mo like casino, baccarat, silo and chohan, darts, karaoke, mahjong. Meron nga siyang game dito, yung Mesu King. It's like a
Yeah.
card game where yes, knows exactly what I'm talking about. Mesu King, where you are playing with, well, only Beatles, a
Yeah.
card game, the Beatles. We're not going to get into too many details on that one, but if you get the chance to play it, you'll know what I'm talking about. There, na you
Just
can.
watch out for Manji
Mm.
Magoro.
Oh yes, Maji Magoro, mag-ingat ka eh. Na Maji Magoro is one of those.
Kiryu-chan!
Kung saan
Kiryu-chan!
lumalabas.
Niskata, Kiryu-chan!
Exactly,
Kahit
yes.
sa,
Oh,
ano, it,
mm.
when I'm playing Yakuza for the first time, tapos biglang, ay, ano, talagang tinitignan ko yung mga trash can or yung mga invernal kasi
Oh,
kung
yeah.
saan saan lumalabas eh.
Kasi ano eh, siguradong lalabas siya eh. Halos
Oh,
sigurado talaga. Mag-iingat ka tapos magkakaroon ng gulpihan
The
eh. No?
best part is that like if you're in the middle of a discussion with an NPC and if
Mm-mm.
na-focus yung camera do sa NPC, makita mo from far distance is
ayo.
Goro, Majima. You're
Padating
like,
na siya. Oh.
press X, press cancel, gonna run, gonna run, gonna run. Tapos makikita ka, marinig mo, Kiryu-chan!
Kaya
Papunta na sa'yo, patakbo na sa'yo.
hahabulin ka na eh. No? Oh, para sa mga sa mga mahilig sa ano ba yung tawag ron yung mga maliliit na RC cars dati, Tamiya. Like Miss
Mm.
Eileen
Tamiya,
Tadeo says
yes.
in the chat siya no, Tamiya. Meron rin siyang isang mini game ron sa Yakuza Kiwami called Pocket Circuit. Excuse me. Pocket Circuit na talagang kung naglalaro ka ng Tamiya dati, ito yung approximation ng parang it's a game within the game. There's so many mini games inside of Yakuza Kiwami na talagang hindi ka mauubusan ng mga gagawin. You can completely forget about the main plot. Talagang mag-concentrate ka sa mga mini games.
May,
It's an easily 100-hour game for you. Hindi ka mauubusan ng mga gagawin. Ganun eh.
may
No?
ano pa yun, may sub-story pa yung
Yes!
Tamiya na yun. Kasi
Oh,
may
may mga
background pa
sub-stories pa
yung
yun.
ano, 'di ba, yung
Absolutely.
lalaki
Oh.
na parang
That's
may
true.
backstory pa siya.
Lahat sila may mga sub-stories. May mga hindi ka lang ma-absorb sa gameplay, pati ron sa mga sub-stories na involved ron sa mini games na 'yon, mahahatak ka. Again, it's such a living world. It's a huge difference between the PlayStation 2 version as the PlayStation 4 version ng Yakuza Kiwami or the PC version na talagang it's almost a completely different game. You can honestly say that this is a full-on remake na talaga of PS2 version of the Yakuza talaga. Hindi ka mauubusan ng gagawin. You will never run out of things to do. You will enjoy yourself immensely. You will get lost in the world. My missus even actually commented, why is it that you know every single corner of this city? Hindi mo na kailangan ng mapa, sweetie. It's because of the fact that I might as well be living here because I know I've been through every single
Every
corner
nooks and
multiple times
crannies.
already. I
Right?
know all the nooks and
Right?
crannies, honestly, because it's a great game series, and I highly recommend for those of you who are interested in good storytelling, good gameplay, good beat 'em ups, good side mini games or whatever. Yakuza Kiwami, Baldur's Gate, the Infinity games, and of course Yakuza Kiwami. Those are my two recommended games that talagang because of the fact that they're remakes and remasters and ports. Yakuza 3, 4, and 5 are remasters na lang, those are great games, remakes done right. As in talagang hindi ka, because of the fact that they easier to carry around, it allows people who didn't get to play them the first time to actually play them again. Or for those of the people who didn't enjoy them the first time, sabi nila hindi masyado maganda to, ganun, to play them again and say, hey, this is really, really good. Ganon. So, and of course, the fact na nga na it becomes available to the next generation of players na hindi nawawala yung mga games na sobrang ganda dati dahil nagiging available na naman sila uli. It's a good and bad thing. Sabi nga ni Raymond, I think na I think it was Raymond who said na dahil hindi niya nasubukan dati, ngayon nasusubukan na niya uli.
Mm.
Didn't get to try it before, but now he will get to try it again. So those are my two recommended. Pero pahapyaw lang na to
Chris.
show yung mga
Oh.
remakes and remasters. Fable
Mhm.
Anniversary.
Fable.
Fable.
Yeah.
Originally on the Xbox na yung original.
OG.
Yes,
Mhm.
OG Xbox. Halo Remastered Edition.
Mhm.
OG, yeah.
Yung mga Masters Chief Collection. Yung mga nakalaro ng Halo dati. And Kingdoms of Amalur Reckoning.
Amalur.
Yeah, Kingdoms of Amalur. Yes. I hear good things about it. Again, this is an instance na nasa akin siya dati. I had it before, I never got the chance. Now I will get the chance to play it because of the fact that I've converted from PlayStation to Xbox. So, kalaban ko kayo ngayon. You guys are kabilang kampo
Ano,
ako.
tawag dito, I
Yeah,
actually, konti pahapyaw lang because I
Yes,
do
go ahead.
notice dito sa episode na to ng Timeless
Mm.
Gamer Show is that we all actually talk
Dede.
about JRPGs.
Dede.
Yes, I know. Yeah.
Talking boobs.
Shout out sa asawa ko. Anyways,
Okay.
we basically already tackled JRPGs,
Mm.
action games, and adventure games and whatnot.
Yes.
Wala pa tayo nababanggit in regards sa fighting games. So I would like
Oh,
para
yeah.
sa mga fighting games fans dito,
Yes.
I would like to actually, kung ako meron akong hihingi na remake for fighting
Mm.
games, I would
Yes.
love Rival Schools and Bloody Roar.
Oh.
yes.
Kasi
Yeah, that
like
was good.
Bloody
Yeah.
Roar disappeared like into a far distance. We would have loved to actually have a remake or a new version ng Bloody Roar. And as for
What the
Rival
hell happened
Schools,
with
there's
Bloody
already
Roar
been
anyway?
fans.
But
I
after
don't know.
PS2 got Bloody Roar, then that's it. Nothing else.
Mm.
Yeah, it's like
Yeah.
after like yung pinaka-latest, I think it was like Bloody Roar 4, was it? After that, it's like you just never hear about it anymore. And then
Mm.
sabi ko nga, it's like there's so many fans nung nung series na yon, and even along with Rival Schools, and I'm sure Darkstalker is also one of the people on the list. Pero
Mm.
the thing is that like those games have so much fans. It has so much stories, and then at the same time, the game mechanics is really amazing that you can never really find it a lot in some other fighting games. Na
Mm.
tawag dito, like the combo system with Bloody Roar, with the wall splat and whatnot. Yes, other fighting games have wall splats.
Which
Other games
company
have
did
better
Bloody Roar
combos.
again?
I think it was nga pala yung
It's not Capcom.
It's not Capcom. It's no. It's not Capcom.
Hudson.
Yeah, Hudson Soft. Yeah, Hudson Soft. And speaking of Capcom, yun nga, Rival Schools, it would be nice if we could actually have that. Yes, they add Akira for Street Fighter
They have
5, but
Project
it's not the
Justice
same.
on They have Project Justice on Dreamcast. Pero after that
But-
wala na.
Wala.
Yeah,
Yun nga,
after that
wala
one.
na after that eh.
Nag-emphasize kasi sila sa Marvel vs.
Street Fighter.
Capcom.
Yeah.
Mm.
And Saiga, that's it. You and I are you and I have to fight on Street Fighter 6 now because you have to mention the ever cursed Dong Dong Never Die. How dare you?
Dong Dong?
How dare you mention Dong Dong Never Die in front of me? That's it. You and I, mamaya sa Discord, I'm gonna fight you Street Fighter 6.
Ayun.
Yeah.
Call out na yun, Saiga. There you go. And Jerome
Parang
San Diego says,
How dare
Nag-drop na ng
Yes.
gunplay.
Jerome San Diego says, or pertaining to Yakuza Kiwami, he says, dahil dyan gusto ko nang pumunta ng Japan. That's another thing. Dahil nga sa ganda ng remake ng Yakuza Kiwami, gusto mong bumisita ng Japan. Actually, Miss Eileen Tadeo says here, very, very pertinent comment, hindi ako marunong magmahjong, pero may full tutorial sa ilalim ng isang ramen bar na nakikurious ako. It's true. I mean, I see a lot of people playing mahjong and I don't know how to play it. Pero dahil sa Yakuza Kiwami, pwede mo siyang matutunan kung paano maglaro
Really?
ng mahjong
Mahjong?
talaga. Yes. Yes. Chohan, Silo, Baccarat, Blackjack, all of those
Wala.
pwede mo matutunan. By the time na matapos kayo sa Yakuza Kiwami, sugarol ka na. There you go.
Ano ba
I'm not sure if you guys saw this one.
Mm.
Are they releasing a new Contra game?
Yeah, I think they are actually.
Is that a new Contra or a remake of the first one? I
No,
think I saw a
I
trailer
mobile.
earlier.
I think it's a
Mobile
mobile
lang.
game. Yeah.
Oo.
As a mobile,
Yeah.
okay.
Ay, mobile game
Uh,
pala siya.
Yeah. It's interesting na ano na of all the games that we're mentioning here, not too many people are mentioning the mobile series, pero there are some games that on mobile that have been remade and remastered na rin siguro na lumabas na rin sa ano
because we
sa
don't
later on.
consider mobile gamers as people.
Oy,
Sa'yo
ano,
galing yan,
Ah,
ah.
ano,
We at
I
Timeless Gamer
contest.
Show
Yes.
do not support the same opinion as Quiz Joe. We all have multiple and varied opinions.
Ay. Hashtag mobile gaming overlords. Mobile gaming overlords. There you go.
Oy!
kung may kung may
Mura,
PC
Quiz Joe,
master race
nagpanting yung
ngayon.
tenga ng asawa ko, lagot ka.
eh,
Ayun na.
uy,
Mag-ingat
ang
ka na
ano,
kay Momo.
ang Metal Slug nga pinort sa mobile di ba?
That's it. That's true.
Right.
Yeah, exactly. There you go.
Siguro
Pero
ang
hindi.
mga
You only play
matutunan
mobile
natin,
games when you're bored or just waiting for your wife to be done shopping.
I have to admit that. That's true. Although mobile
Quiz
games
Joe,
have
mag-ingat.
been yan. Yeah, go ahead,
Yeah,
Mami.
Quiz Joe,
Momo,
mag-ingat ka sa...
Miss
Quiz
Momo,
Joe,
come at me.
Quiz Joe,
Let's hear it.
mag-ingat ka sa sinasabi mo. Remember,
Miss Momo,
favorite ka pa
let's
naman
hear
ng
it.
asawa ko. Remember, she vouched for
I
you.
know you're
Remember
there.
that.
Oy,
I'm
Joe.
just baiting you to answer. Miss
Oh.
Momo,
Oy, Joe, mag-ingat ka. Ka-order mo pa lang nito ng As Divine As Divine Collection. Puro
As
mobile
Divine.
games ito. Puro mobile games ito sa Switch mo.
no.
Ikaw
That is
mismo.
why that is why I'm going to play it on a Switch, an
Aha.
actual console.
Which is mobile. Which is
A
mobile. din.
mobile console.
Handheld.
It's a handheld!
Exactly. There you go. Oh yeah, there you go. Yeah. So those are my choices of games. Now,
No,
we're
with
getting
with actual buttons that you can press.
okay, fine.
can-
I guess yun yung ano natin. Yun yung difference yun. Here. Sige, here. Before we go to the final stretch, let's do games you'd like there to be a remake or remaster of. Yung mga games na hindi nyo pa na hindi pa lumalabas pero gusto niyo sanang magkaroon ng remake or remaster. Limit to 3 if you're looking just mention them and mention why you'd like there to be a remaster or a remake of them. Let's start with JDM. JDM.
I have a list. Teka lang.
Okay. May list pa.
Woo, let's go.
Patay.
Para
Let's
sa
go.
akin,
Oh,
hindi ano lang naman. Mabilis na naman.
go ahead.
Fallout parang retro na din to. Fallout New Vegas. Speaking of yung
Fallout.
tawag
Nice.
dun mga
Good choice.
tawag dun sugal-sugal.
Yes,
Because
good choice.
I'm a fan of Blackjack.
Yes.
So 21. Ayan.
Nice.
Siguro
Paano ka
medyo
superhero?
revamped yung combat system and expand lang yung lugar ng konti, mas larger than
Okay. Yeah.
It's one of
Makes
my
sense.
favorite kasi Fallout game
Mm.
in the Fallout in the series
Oo.
kasi dahil sa Blackjack and mas gusto ko yung story niya unlike
Yeah.
kasi the story is about vengeance eh. So you have this yung courier who's just doing his job as a delivery man.
Yeah.
Tapos na lang siya parang may nakabangga lang siya. He just ran into a gangster, shot him in the head and then he survived. So he's looking for that man who shot him just for revenge. Then biglang naging blown out yung story, mas may pa pala doon kasi you meet that mobster in siguro mga 20% in the game, then he asked you that he did not mean it, there was a higher power that parang yun yung reason bakit ginawa niya yan.
It's a very well regarded game actually. A lot of people regard Fallout New Vegas as better than Fallout 3. Yeah.
Actually better than rin Fallout 4.
Oh yeah.
And that's a
that-
newer game.
Agreed.
And
Okay, next game.
Fallout 76.
Oh yeah.
Pass.
All right, next game.
Next, as what Orange Coffee mentioned earlier in the chat, Vagrant Story.
Vagrant Story.
But
Yeah.
Yep. All right.
Yeah, it's
Yep.
for me. I consider it as a
Yep.
Souls game,
Mm.
different from not saying that
Mm.
yung the yung Kingsfield, those from software games na
Mm.
yung talagang ancestor ng
Mm.
If I'm going to
Dark
add
Souls.
that to Sir JDM,
Mm.
please, Square Enix, add more
Yes,
light. Okay, don't be so
yes.
dark. Add
Eh,
more
wala
color
eh.
into your game.
It's a
Onto this
dungeon
particular game.
crawler. That's the thing.
Oo.
Yeah. Anyway, sige, go
Action
JDM.
action RPG.
Mm-mm.
Maganda yung gameplay. I like
Mm.
the mythology.
Mm.
They established darker mythology than yung nakasanayan natin sa Final Fantasy. It's
Yes.
much more darker,
Mm-mm.
and it's only Ashley Riot, the protagonist, is a one-man army.
Mm.
Uh, he's a risk breaker. Parang siya mercenary na talagang he's like a Spartan. Kung equivalent niya is 300 men.
Yeah, that's
Yung
true.
niya, yung expertise niya, spears, knives,
Mm.
kahit mga magical stuff,
Yes.
alam niyang gamitin.
Mm-mm.
And he's just one man. Tapos, excellent story. Kasi although, kasi sa game, they don't do voiceovers.
Mm.
Lang, yung parang, yung comic bubbles lang, ganun.
Yes. Mm-mm.
But, I would respect if they will add the voiceovers, pero sana nandun pa rin yung bubbles, then yung
Mm.
Shakespearean yung English na ginagamit nila, yung thou
Yes.
shalt, mga ganun,
Yes.
yung mga medieval and
Mm-mm.
then next is eto yung natin, the
Mm.
caption, Dino Crisis remake,
Dino
please
Crisis.
caption.
Yes. Agreed.
We'll give
Mm-mm.
you the money is not an issue.
Capcom.
And
Capcom.
yes,
Mm-mm.
Square
Oh,
Enix,
question, Sir
Capcom.
JDM. In that regard,
Mm-mm.
are do you want them to change Regina's outfit or still with the leather skin tight bathing suit?
Let it stay. Let it stay. Let it
Yeah,
Let it
stay.
stay. Mm-mm.
oh, yan, prerequisite yan.
No.
What are the conditions?
Oo, ayan.
Well,
Oh.
remove the gray bodysuit.
Very
Leave the
true.
swimsuit
It's a
on.
very tactical
Oo.
suit compared to Jill Valentine's disco nightclub outfit.
Mm.
Ayan.
Honestly, running around with
Mas
that miniskirt. What
palakihin
the
ang
hell?
boobs ni Regina.
Regina.
Mm.
Surgically enhanced.
Surgically.
All right. Good choices,
And,
JDM.
Not.
and
Oh no, it's naturally endowed.
Ayan. Mm. Ayan. Yeah. You have another suggestion, JDM?
that's it for me.
That's it. All right. Excellent. Now
Fallout,
let's.
Migrant Star, and Dino Crisis.
Good choices. Good choices all in all.
I'll be a happy camper.
Nice, very good. Now let's move on to Raymond. I'd like to hear Raymond's wish list when it comes to remakes or remasters. Up to three. Which games would you like to be either remade or remastered na hindi pa nagagawa?
Yeah, nasabi ko naman yung kanina.
Mhm.
I'm hoping talaga
Mhm.
na ma-remake na talaga yung Veronica o
Yes.
yung
Okay.
codename Veronica ay code
Okay.
Veronica ng Resident Evil.
Yeah.
At the same time, I'm not a RPG fan, but
Mhm.
I would love a remake of Legend of Ligaya.
Good
Yeah.
choice.
Yeah.
Ang itawag mo sa
Very
Legend of
buff.
Tawag mo sa akin.
Ligaya.
Ligaya yung tawag mo sa
Yan. Bakit ko nasabi? It
Mm.
was sabi nga natin nun sa PS1 hidden gems
Mm.
natin. One of the hidden gems of
Yeah.
the PS1 era ang Legend of Ligaya.
Yes.
So sana man lang may makarinig sa atin na hopefully
Mm.
ma-remake ang
Remake
Ligaya.
Ligaya?
O sana may ongoing process na silang ma-remake. Diba? Even though na yung Procyon that produce the Legend of Ligaya game is not circulating right now in the game industry, diba?
Yes.
So hopefully baka may
Procyon,
mag-adopt,
okay.
diba?
Okay.
May
Second, the
following
third
din
one
kasi.
is Legend of Dragoon. Yan. Kaming dalawang
Yes.
design na talaga
Lagoon.
nagkakapayo kami ng ito diba?
Yes.
Um, Yung battle system, same pa rin,
Mhm.
ano lang,
What?
i-tweak lang ng konti.
Mhm.
I-tweak lang ng konti.
The
Mhm.
additions? Really? You like that?
Yeah, i-tweak lang ng konti. Sabi ko sa'yo nung tinapos ko 'to, hanggang pangatlo yata yung sinasabi na ano, yung
Double
crash
slash lang na. Double slash, double slash, double slash.
double slash lang sa'yo, sa'kin nga cross dance lang yata yung meron ako nun, eh. Pero natapos ko 'tong
Mhm.
hayop na larong 'to, eh.
Wala.
Well, there
Yun.
you go. Mhm.
I hated
On the
Volcano.
horror games,
Fuck
yung
this.
some of the horror games, yun, puwede rin Alone in the Dark. Sana
Mhm.
ma-remake din ang Alone in the Dark. Tapos yung Clock Tower, ma-remake din.
Mhm.
Kasi ito yung mga timeless na horror games na puwede mo talagang ipagmalaki, eh.
Mhm.
What else? Siyempre yung Silent Hill 1.
Mhm.
Kasi even though that
Never
they're going to remake the Silent Hill 2,
Mhm.
siyempre mas maganda pa rin yung OG 1 na ma-remake. Yung 1
Yes.
pa rin. Saan ba sila
Mhm.
ano,
Mhm.
'di ba? Saan
That's
ba
true.
sila nakilala? It's not from the Silent Hill 2, it's from the Silent Hill 1. So,
Have to admit,
basically
yeah.
sana nga
Mhm.
ma-remake nila yung 1, 'di ba?
Mhm. A
Yan.
true
Sabi nga
remake
ni Sai
rather than yung
ganito,
sinasabi
Dance
ni
talaga
JDM
ibalik
na
kong ano, kasi
Yeah,
ito lang din ako
reimagine.
kumpleto ko, eh.
Yeah. There you go. A true
Ayun.
remake
So,
nga, yung hinihiling ni Raymond din. Hindi reimagining kagaya ng sabi ni
yeah.
JDM. Yan.
Yeah.
All right. Good choices, Raymond. Good choices all in all.
Yan.
Now, I'd like to hear from the Return of the Comeback King, Mamuchu. If you have any games that you'd like to be remade or remastered, now's the time to mention them. Let's do a wish
As a
list
matter
for
of fact,
Mamuchu.
as a
Police
matter of fact, I
notes.
do actually.
Mm.
Oy. As a matter of fact, I do have three lists with one honorable mention, and
Mm.
mahalata nyo, there's a running theme on my wish
Mm.
list, and that
Mm.
is Bushido Blade,
Okay. Oh, yeah.
Way
Good
of the
one.
Samurai,
Nice.
Way of the
Mm.
Samurai,
Mm.
and Tenchu. Yes, I know some of you are gonna say, but Shin, we have Sekiro. It's very different. That's like saying na ano para sinabi mo na, uy, meron na rin namang ano tawag dito yung ibang klaseng Dino Crisis. Yeah, exactly. But we want
Mhm.
Dino Crisis. Ganun din sa akin. Yes, we have Sekiro, but I want Tenchu. And
Mhm.
honorable mention Onechan Bara because Jiggle basics have finally improved.
Okay. Yes, of course, definitely.
Yeah,
You know, on the
so
chat, bara.
Bushido
Do
Blade because there's
you
a
got
lot of
Honest Bara for the Wii, and you got a remaster for it for the PlayStation 4, right?
I
yeah,
think so.
It's
Yeah.
not a remake.
I want a full remaster where I can play it on the
A
PC
full
and
remake.
modify it.
All right.
Um, tawag dito, ganito. Like, with Bushido Blade, there's a lot of potential with that as a good fighting game na mga one strike and whatnot, weapon system.
Mhm.
And there's a lot of fun that is actually with that game itself. Also, with the story, maski hindi masyado napapansin yung story, there is a story behind Bushido Blade. So,
Mhm.
I would love na magkaroon sila ng remake, have it start over again, and
Mhm.
Squaresoft, if you're listening, it would be amazing if you could actually have a Bushido Blade uli.
Mhm.
Same thing with Way of the Samurai, which was I think Aquar was the one that created it, released by Spike Games and Xseed.
Mhm.
Way of the Samurai is an open world where you create a character with so many possibilities based on your
Mhm.
choices. Eh. Now,
Yes.
it would be nice na kung ako ang if I would actually get my wish, it would
Mhm.
be nice to actually have it kasi in the game itself, doon sa pinaka-latest nila, you have random bots that basically is like, random samurais that if they see you, they will attack you. Imagine
Mhm.
if you are in an open world with other players and you have the choice to be hostile with them or not.
Mhm.
And then if you kill them, you get their blade.
Oh,
So
yeah.
there's a lot of potential with Way of the Samurai. And
Mhm.
again, with Tenchu, there is a story in Tenchu na I would love to actually extend din eh. Na yes,
Mhm.
with the later on stories with the monk that has acupuncture skills and whatnot, the story
Mhm.
got a little bit too haywire. Pero the thing is that like with the stealth system ng Tenchu, and then like it's all about just like coming into one place and then like trying to kill the going
Yeah.
to certain dungeons. And
Mhm.
I just want a game where it's not always about like we want to make this one game because it's a third person. Let's make it into a Souls game. Don't
Mhm.
get me wrong, I like Souls game, but like let's not saturate it too much. And the
Yes.
thing
Mhm.
is that yes, the battle system of Tenchu does resemble a and is perfect for a soul system, but that's why we have Sekiro, diba?
Yeah, that's true. Yun nga, eh, no? Okay. Good choices, Mamuchu. Excellent choices. I don't recall if Bushido Blade actually had a story. The first one,
Yeah,
I
it
think it was
does.
just
It
a
does
straight up. It
actually.
does. But
Yeah,
it was kind
like
of yeah. It was
What
kind
is
of
Neo?
inconsequential to the gameplay, though.
What is
it's
Neo
it's
though?
basically, huh?
Neo. Neo one
Neo,
and two.
Neo 1 and
Nayo.
2. Yeah, that's a,
Yeah.
yeah, Neo.
Neo,
Yeah, it's
Nayo,
also
Neo. Okay.
Yeah, how do you say that? Nayo.
I'm not
Neo.
sure.
Neo.
Neo. Yeah, likely
Neo.
So
Nayo.
how is that?
Neo.
So
Neo.
how is
Okay.
that
Neo.
different from any other ninja slash samurai game?
Hmm.
Well, it's basically kind of makes you feel like you're playing Onimusha with Dynasty Warriors and Souls game.
Hmm.
Oh,
There you go. All right. So good choices, Mamuchu. I'd like to read out of last few messages in the chats first. Tres Cuenta Gaming on Twitch says, Final
Ayan na,
Fantasy
Quiz Mon.
9. Sana totoo. There you go.
Ayan
There
na,
you
Quiz
go.
Ninong Mon.
Excellent. And Christopher Abestado says, Symphony of the Night naman, please lang. All right. Well, that's a very valid and a
what?
very valid opinion.
Ain't that already perfect for you guys? Do you really want a
That's
remake of
actually
that?
that's ano, who knows? Maybe they just wanna ano, they Brave Fencer
2D?
Masashi pwede rin.
I
That's
would
a
love
Yeah.
good
that.
choice. Good
Ah,
choice.
Masashi.
And Kurt Labrado says Aragami feels like a Tenchu inspired ninja stealth. I keep seeing Aragami. I'll have to give that one a try.
Yeah.
All right.
I
So
would like to
my
add Sir
Sabi nga
Joel.
nila.
yes, go ahead, go ahead.
And Jerome San Diego said it.
Mm,
Square Enix, look at me.
mm-mm.
Parasite Eve.
Ah,
Give
yes,
me
Parasite
Parasite
Eve.
Eve.
Mm-mm.
If
Yes.
if not a full game, can you just give me the shower scene? A remake of
Mm,
that shower scene with
mhm.
Aya. All right,
Oh yeah, there
Kaling
you go.
the Candyman.
Ayan. As for ano, Miss
Where?
Eileen says, Misadventures of Tron Bond. Good choice, Miss Eileen. Good choice. Ako naman, let's see. I would say my personal opinion, I only have one wish na sana i-remake or i-remaster nila. Kasi there's so many games that are coming out nowadays, like Paper Mario Thousand Year Door is coming out. There's lots of remakes and remasters that are coming out. Now, we're spoiled for choice. There's so many remakes and remasters na naglalabasan na wala na akong hihingil-hingil masyado ng mga ng mga remakes. Isa lang sana ang gusto ko sana i-remake or i-remaster nila in the future. That's one of my favorite games. It's called Scoon. Squoon on Famicom. It's a really old obscure game sa Famicom na you're piloting a little pink submarine. And it's completely bonkers. Yung story niya is that the Earth was flooded by aliens, and all of these things, strange things coming at you using with your submarine are aliens trying to destroy you, and your mission is to destroy them and try to recapture the Earth. And it's a funny little game na talagang you'd think na hindi mo iisipin na malalim yung story niya, pero it's a fun game, and I hope they remake it or remaster it with nice modern graphics. And but keep the bonkers story. Keep the bonkers story. Yung mga weird and strange enemies na may sirena diyan na aatakihin ka na may sadaladalang rosaryo. Happy ako doon. Keep that one. Yan. I like this the funniest little elements on that one. Scoon. Squoon for the Nintendo Famicom system. Yan lang ang aking ano. And I'm passing it off to Joe for the final thoughts and his choice on wish list games niya na sana ma-remake or ma-remaster.
Well,
Marami yan.
Oo nga, marami yan.
Let's go.
We already did mention Parasite Eve.
Mm-mm.
Square, come on, Square.
Mm-mm. Mm-mm.
If you're not going to give me if you're not going to give me Xenogears, okay, Parasite Eve, come on. um, wala pa yung iba. I forgot to mention the first Wild Arms. The first Wild Arms got a remake with Alter Code F for the PlayStation 2. Yeah, we got that one as well. Uh, what are the others that I would like to have a proper remake?
Mhm.
Aside from Xenogears, aside from Legend of Dragoon, sir, I mentioned
Dahil Spanish.
Skies of
Gals panic.
Arcadia.
Okay.
How would you remake a Gals Panic in this social climate nowadays? I mean, ain't no way they're going to release they're going to release that. Um, it
Wait
probably
a few decades.
maybe in a few decades, you know.
Yeah,
Uh, what
definitely.
are- what others are there? Um, I would love for Namco Bandai to remake the Japanese exclusives that never got localized.
Mm. Mm-mm.
Specifically, Tales of Rebirth
Mm.
and Tales of Destiny 2 for the PlayStation 2 because people are just translating that one, but they never really localized that one. If Namco Bandai would be smart, because they released another Tales of Symphonia for the PlayStation 4 and the Switch. I'm like, we already got one sa PlayStation 3. Why would we need another Symphonia game? Um, yeah. Nothing else. Well, there are a lot more that would come to mind. Maybe I don't know, Vandal Hearts. Um,
Band Arts. Ah,
Vandal
PS1.
Hearts. Yeah. What else is there? The Persona 3 is they are remastering Persona 3 coming coming soon. You got your paper. You got your Super Mario RPG that's coming, a remaster, I think. It's a remaster for the Nintendo Switch coming this November 2023. You got your Star Ocean Second Story, which they this is not a remake, just a remaster, right? For a remaster coming soon as well. Yeah, they announced a lot actually.
They did.
What
We're spoiled for choice. Like I said, ang dami mga padating na remakes and remasters, which is a good thing and a bad thing.
Mama Chu, Mama Chu,
Ano
Mm.
yan?
how about Darkstalkers na fighting game?
Uy,
Ma-remake
I
man lang,
it's
di ba?
I would
no.
nasa listahan ko na rin yun, Quiz Ninong Mood. But
O,
the
para
thing
makita
is that like,
natin yung real life na jiggling ni Morrigan.
pero ako tatanungin nyo kung ako tatanungin ninyo, tawag dito, mas likely pa na na magkaroon ng rival schools kesa sa Darkstalkers for some reason. I don't know what it is.
Mm.
Pero it's like they always na maghihint sila na there's something about Darkstalkers, then magugulat ka na lang, another port. Port transfer na naman, as in bagong port para sa ganitong system. But as far as like yung i-remake nila or even have a new fighting system, have it very similar sa katulad ng Guilty Gear na graphics or whatever, you don't even hear it at all eh. It's nakakahinayang talaga.
Eh, pati to,
I mean, there are
design na din ito.
Morgan is not the only person for Darkstalkers. I mean, there are a lot of characters that make the Darkstalkers, the Darkstalker
Felicia.
franchise popular. I
Yeah,
mean,
you
it's
know.
not just
we
Morgan.
got Felicia.
Felicia.
Yeah, Shenko is actually,
Shenko.
as far as like boobs are concerned, you guys love boobs?
Yeah,
Shenko.
napapansin ko may trend yung usapan eh.
Basta may boobs.
Yung pala yung trend na sinasabi ko kay
Okay. All right. I guess I guess that's where we can leave off now, Joy. Go ahead.
All right. So that's the show, guys. There are a lot
Ano yung show, yung
more.
boobs?
Show the boobs, okay?
We're gonna show the boobs. There
Okay.
are a lot more games out there. Jerome Sanjego said Breath of Fire 1, 2, or 3.
Mhm.
Either one of those, actually. I would prefer Breath of Fire 1
Mhm.
from the original SNES.
Mhm.
I would say if they're going to like a proper remake, right?
Mhm.
Yeah, that's the show, guys, and we're just thank you all so much for staying, giving out your input. We value your opinions and your comments down there at the chat. And let's just do our shameless plugs before we end the show. Let's start with Sir JDM. Where can they find you?
Mhm.
All right. So for me, as always, 123 Go Retro on Twitch and Kick. Recently, I don't, hindi na ako masyadong nakakapag-stream. But when I do it mga evenings when I get home. And ano pala, if you're speedrunner pala sa Pinoy Retro Gaming, we're doing yung first three Retroton. We're doing new challenges. I think every month na yata to kasi we're doing last month we did yung Pop Eye, then uh, what was that game, yung Super Dodgeball and Bunk's Adventure. So umabot ako ng 4 hours. 2 hours sa Popeye, tapos mga 15 minutes siguro sa Super Dodgeball, then another 2 hours sa
Mhm.
Bunk's Adventure. I didn't know na ganun kahirap yung Popeye kasi you need to do the loop 2 times.
Mhm.
Ayan. So, if you're interested, just check yung Pinoy Retro Gaming page for the mechanics of the first three Retroton. So,
Mm.
please do
All
check it
right.
out, guys.
Excellent.
It's going to
Right.
be
Nice. Nice. All right.
very cool.
Thank you for that, Sir JDM. How about Sir Ray? Where can they find ya? And something to promote.
Ang ganda nung nila ano, dinodrawing ni Mama Chu.
Oh yeah. We'll wait for the finish
Alright,
product.
so
Go ahead.
eto, ipo-promote ko lang yung business venture namin, Tatlong Kulugo.
Mm.
Yan. Nasa ano kami, October 21 and 22, nasa Santa Lucia Mall kami with Pinoy Retro Gaming din. Nandito rin sila. Nandito
Mm.
rin kami. Actually, the whole gang is here. We're on October Fair in East City Collectors Fair on October 21 to 23 sa Entertainment Center ng Santa Lucia East Grand Mall. So if you're in the Rizal area, o kung nasa Marikina ka, tapos Pasig,
Mm.
Cainta, and you want some retro, kung gusto nyo umattend dito sa fair na to,
Mm.
we would love you to be there. Yan. So, ang
Mm.
studio.ph, my store, Retro Unlimited na store ni Tito Popoy, and the store of Jeremiah De Jesus of Shopple Emporium that caters toys and collectibles is nandyan. So, in case guys, kung mapadpad kayo sa Rizal,
Mm.
sa Santa Lucia, you better check us out on October 21 to 23. 20 pesos lang ang entrance fee, and promise, hindi kayo magsisisi dun sa makikita nyo that time. And may mga free to play din naman, may tournaments and whatsoever na magaganap. So yun,
Mm.
nakikita ko pa rin yung ginaya ni Mama Ju, may boobs na talaga. Okay.
All right.
Sige.
Sige.
Thank you so much.
Mm.
Studio.ph guys, paki-follow, like, ayan.
And share,
All
yeah.
right. Thank you for that, Sir Ray. And how about how about Sir Joel? Where
All
can they find you,
right.
Sir Joel?
Excellent. You can find me hanging around on twitch.tv under the banner Banyagang Native. Also on kick.com under Banyagang Native. I haven't had the chance to stream all that much lately. I'll do my very best to go back and restart my streams all over again because of the fact that life catches up with you and it comes at you really fast. But always take the time to try to relax, try to do your streams, try to enjoy the little things in life because once the whole thing is done, can't go back and redo everything all over again, right? Unless, of course, you'd invent your time machine, in which case I'm investing in you. Anyway, hashtag FUFB. I'll see. I'm also hanging around here, dito sa, sa Timeless Gamer. Pero always check out our personal pages. We'll always do our very best to reply to all the messages. On to you, Joe.
All right. Thank you for that, Sir Joel. And the returning comeback, the speed the speed sketcher,
Yes.
Roshin. Where can they find you?
Well, makikita nyo ako guys dito sa TG. Mostly regular na ako dito again. And as far as like, once again, thank you very much sa pag-welcome nyo ulit sa akin dito.
Mm.
Also, promoting nga for the event ng Kois Ninong Monko. Be sure to check that out. And I believe yun lang muna. Let's hope na kung sakali man makapunta ako, I hope to meet you guys there.
All right. Thank you for that, bro. And oh, kung nga pala, no? We forgot to mention if we're remakes, sure. Give us Lufia, Fantasy Star, and dare I say a remake of Chrono Trigger.
Ooh.
Okay.
Ayan na naman tayo eh.
Eto na
If it's not
naman.
if it's not broke, why fix it, right?
Fine, fine, fine. Sige, sige.
Fine. So
Pagbigyan.
okay.
Okay.
A few announcements, major announcements to all of you who are watching and listening to us right now.
Mm.
So as we mentioned earlier, this is the seventh season finale of the show. We are coming now for our eighth season of this podcast. some major announcements. There will be some rebranding. Rather than saying Timeless Gamer, we're going to be known as Timeless Gamers because most of you keep saying gamers anyway. And the
Mm.
only reason why we use Timeless Gamer uh, it was during the time when we allowed the community to come up with a title for the show, Timeless
Mm.
Gamer One, without the S.
Well, with the S, it showcases that we already are a community. It's not just one
Mhm.
individual timeless gamer. It's all of us. We're all having a great time being
Mm.
timeless.
And by the way,
Right?
guys,
So,
it's patented. Ah.
Oh,
yeah,
patented.
Don't you
There you go.
patented.
hear?
Yeah.
Yes,
Oh,
I
yes.
believe Sir JDM came up with with the term timeless gamer.
Mm.
And for the YouTube channel, so we mentioned it's Timeless Gamers Show. Apparently, if you're go, I keep hearing people saying that if you're going to type in Timeless Gamer in YouTube,
Mm.
there's another Timeless Gamer channel over there.
Oh, okay.
And so, just not to be confused, it's Timeless Gamers
Mhm.
Show. Just look for our logo. You know it's us. And
But we can't say TGS because they might think we're saying Tokyo Game Show, right?
Oh yeah, that's true.
yeah, and we can say TGS as well. So that is also taken. So it's
Mm.
Timeless Gamers Show in YouTube. We'll be changing the titles on the audio streams as well. The logo we will be changing that with Timeless Gamers. We're gonna add another S in there. Um, some That's just basically rebranding. We will be launching our official Timeless Gamers website, which is timelessgamers.com. That will be it's still under works with the partnership of Sir JDM and Sir Jom and Ten, Sir Jomarot. Thanks to these two, we will be having our own timelessgamers.com website
Thank you,
where we will
thank
be
you.
macroing all of our archive videos, our testimonials, our reviews, some biographies of all of the regular panelists will be there. And I don't want to, let's just say we will be adding some more aside from our show. We'll be adding some more into that website. Wink,
Mm.
wink. On behalf of Sir Dan and Sir Viraj, I would also like to promote their shows, the Sega Mega Masters.
Yes.
All right, the
Yes.
Sega Mega Masters. If to all of you Sega enthusiasts over there who are watching, listening to us, check out their YouTube channel, Sega Mega Masters. Sir Dan and Sir Viraj are also regular panelists here on the show.
Mhm.
Unfortunately, due to work reasons, they cannot be here on in this episode, but they will be returning on the next episode on our season 8 premiere, talking
Mhm.
about Sega Saturn. Finally,
Mhm.
we were supposed to talk. It was supposed to be scheduled sometime this week, but because of work reasons, we had to move that episode. So that's why we did this one, the remake remastered episode for this week. So on the next episode, we promise it's the Sega Saturn episode now for the season 8 premiere,
Mhm.
and a few changes along the way.
Yeah.
And yeah, that's it, guys. Sabi ni Sir Saiga, wala bang timeless gamers sa Spotify?
Meron.
Yes,
We've got
meron.
Spotify presence. Yes, I get. No,
Yeah.
subscribe to the podcast feed in
Yeah.
Spotify. Mhm.
So timeless gamer is still available on Spotify. I
Mm.
should be list every. I'll list everyone every platform again. It's just so many. It's so
Mm,
very
mm,
tiring.
mm, mm, mm,
Audible, Amazon Music,
mhm,
Spotify, iTunes, Google Podcast,
mhm,
Apple Podcast,
mhm,
Samsung Podcast,
mhm,
Podcast Index, Listen Notes, Pandora, Stitcher,
mhm,
iHeartRadio, Deezer. We are all there. Well, except for TuneIn because TuneIn apparently got shafted. So we're not tuning lost their parent company. So we're you can't listen to us in tuning anymore. But you got all of those
Yeah.
audio streaming platforms over there. Just Google in Timeless Gamer. Check out for our logo. That's us.
All right.
And that's our show, guys. Yay! Thank you, thank you, thank you. And as always, our games in our bodies may grow out of date, but our gaming experiences will forever remain. Hey,
Timeless.
I'm not.
Timeless. All right. See you guys again next time.
Timeless.
See you
Enjoy
guys
your
next week.
weekend.
See you next episode.
Ah,
Timeless.
Don't forget